Welcome back to Streets of Lavidia. This is session 8, entitled Tough Decisions. At the end of last session, we kind of had a bit of a juggling act of what is, what was, and what will be, due in part to the Codex being religiously important to Krungar, and me not wanting to give Kevin the power of agency over Kevin regarding the matters of that book. So they collected the book. They also collected the guy, Markov. Um, and you basically have some choices to make here. That's the name of the session. Roll credits. You need to decide whether or not you're going to turn the book over with Markov to the Checkered Scarves, turn just Markov over to the Checkered Scarves, and explain whatever it is you want with the book, or not report into the Checkered Scarves, hoping that they think that you're. Basically, there's a lot of points beyond that. Actually, thinking about it, there's a series of multiple choices that could happen after there. I guess the main choices would be just in 3: delay, turn in half, turn in whole. I explained to Joe some beats regarding the Codex. This game isn't about keeping secrets from anybody or anything to that effect. I mean, in character and narratively that happens, sure, but I think we're all kind of on the same level that character narrative is different than what your player knows. So, you got the Codex. You're aware that the person who had the Codex during the fight with him was intent on summoning some sort of eldritch being, potentially a great old one, into the material plane to act as an angel instead of a power. So that means that it would be not breaking the covenant of the Ascended. That was what their intent was. Markov was not doing so knowingly, though. Markov appears to have been possessed, or some sort of spell was probably cast upon him that forced his actions, such as like a Geas or a quest spell. With all that being said, though, Joe, you know what you know. You have the opportunity to ask as many questions as you want, and I'm going to either answer them in whole because you have religion trained and you know how to kind of consume a book like this. You can ask your questions, but I will tell you there will be a point where I may say regarding your question that would take more study. So, how would you like to proceed questions wise? And also, everyone else, just as you kind of hear this out, keep in mind Joe may not be relaying this to you in character, so as your player may know it, your character may not. So, what questions do you have regarding the book as you head home, Joe?
Is it safe for me to read? Is it safe for me to look through? I guess the first thing I would do is open to a random page and see what happens, if anything.
Nothing crazy. It's written in a language you can kind of decipher. I would say that you don't feel like it's going to consume you, but it does function in effect like a manual. So in the Dungeon Master's Guide, there are a series of books called the Manual of Insert Adjective, Insert Noun regarding a person's capabilities, like strength, dexterity, etc. These manuals take a certain duration to read, and then when the resolution is completed, you gain a benefit. You feel like to consume it in that way, it would take 7 days.
As I'm trying to read through it and understand, I imagine, yeah, I'm fumbling a little bit through it. I've read religious books before, but probably nothing like this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but you're trained to read the books, so it's not like. I guess the best way to say it is just because you haven't read a lot of religious text doesn't mean you don't know how to, right? So you have the religious training, you have the skill training, so you kind of understand how the book is expected to be consumed. Um, in that, it functions as a manual, and then also in addition to that, it has rites and rituals that can be performed, a la the ritual caster spell casting feature that pretty much everybody has. You can spend some time, a duration set by the ritual, and perform it. To identify these rituals, you would need 3 days.
Well, you said 7 days to read it. Oh, okay.
To read the whole book and get the benefit of the book. The rituals that are inside of the book, to perform them, would take 3 days.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, it's not so much a part about reading it for that part. It's basically like maybe a handful of pages, but you have to do X, Y, and Z while reading them in a very specific way to get effect.
No way of knowing what that effect is, right?
You would need, like I said, you would need like 3 days to kind of learn what they do. To understand what the ritual's effect is, you kind of have to understand the workings of the ritual. Or you can just perform it. Probably not the best idea, but yeah, you could just perform it.
Yeah, YOLO.
What does this do?
Well, I guess I gotta read this manual real quick.
Nice.
Yeah, sorry. I might have misspoke earlier when I said that it took
You
3
just
days.
skip step 2 and go straight to step 7, like
Yeah.
something together.
What's
All right,
the-
it says,
what's the last
to
one?
it says to put the fire in here.
It says profit here at the end of this list. So we're just going to do that, folks. But no, I may have misspoke. It doesn't take 3 days to perform the ritual. It takes 3 days to investigate what the ritual would do. If you wish to perform the ritual to find out what it does, depending on which of the 3 rituals you elect to do, it would be either a 1-hour ritual for the smallest of the rituals, an 8-hour ritual, and then a 3-day ritual.
It's like a festival if it's like a 3-day ritual.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Like Burning Orc or something like that. or
Like burning, yeah.
Coachella.
I get it. I got you.
Is it? I probably wouldn't be able to tell at this point if the book itself would be completely consumed.
If you perform the rituals, it won't be
Performing the rituals.
consumed. If you read it, it won't be consumed. Its power will leave it for a time.
Okay.
I believe it's a year and a day for it to restore its magical property to imbue the person with divine knowledge.
Shall we consult the bones?
What else?
This is very much Atavius, right?
Yes.
Okay.
As-
I don't know if I have any more questions.
As you
Really
understand it from
convinced.
skimming, the book was basically written for the purposes of use on either the astral plane or the material plane to allow for, in most respects, angels to function as angels or a deity to function as an avatar. The ritual in question, out of character, kind of giving you an above the table look at what we're talking about here. That specific ritual, which you presume in character is probably the longest one, that specific ritual is used by the Grey Order when they call the avatar of Atavius to aid them in combat. That's a above the table look at what we're talking about here.
Mm-hmm.
It can be misused to bring other powers or other entities into the world. When they enter into the world, they are not at their highest tier. They're kind of brought in at angelic level. That makes sense?
Yeah. Yep. I'm picking up everything you're putting down.
That. Tell me more about that.
I don't think he tells anybody about anything. This is all for him. That's why I said what you hear and what you're hearing may not be information that your character knows. But you mean for Chad, yeah, it's pretty dope. That's how Steve got to play the last
So,
playthrough.
anything you'd like to share with the class?
Yeah. once I've gathered all this like face level knowledge of what the book is all about, I would definitely want to approach Moro and the rest of the group and talk about it.
Okay. And you don't withhold anything. Everything that was just learned by you is their knowledge as well. Is that fair to say?
Yes.
Okay. A very trustworthy fellow.
Well, hold on.
You're telling a bunch of
I
thieves.
would tell them.
Yeah, give me. Go ahead and give us the bullet points.
Yeah. Okay. So it's definitely something celestial. It's like not. It's these powers aren't of this world. Some of them probably shouldn't even exist in this world. But to get a better understanding of it, I need at least a couple of days to flip through it. If we could hold off on turning it in.
Yes,
I want to
well,
understand
Krungar,
it better.
If you should have any questions or need any help, please feel free to, come to me. I'd be happy to lend my assistance towards, reading and perhaps understanding what sort of profane rituals this poor mind-controlled soul was up to.
Copper is side-eyeing him so hard.
And on top of that, I'm also super curious who was telling him to conduct such a ritual.
Wait a second, hold on. You're all saying saying this from the trunk. You're still in the trunk with the box.
I would say this is probably once you got back.
In the trunk.
It's
No.
probably the case that Krungar spent
We
the
left him in there.
he spent the few hours that were on the trip back. He probably spent those consuming the book as his like getting as much information out of it as he could.
I gotcha. So actually, to add like some extra flavor onto it, Kiernail is actually having this conversation with Krungar while he's like removing his makeup. So like,
Yeah.
It puts the lotion in the basket.
he's like removing his disguise.
Yeah, you're being real right now. I'm following. Krungar has no reason.
100%.
We all have like OOC stuff. We all have our flaws and everything. But like as far as working together goes, we've been a pretty solid group. Krungar has no reason to distrust anybody.
Yeah, I
he's
think as a group.
he's definitely holding back. He knows a little bit more than what he's telling. He's not very good at hiding it.
Yeah.
I think, and
Totally
he would
fine.
say, I think at the very least, with how powerful this could be, that we're getting lowballed on the job, like as far as the pay goes. It's also possible that we might be able to benefit from this book in some way, and then also turn it in. But it would take time.
Well, so I'm assuming we're sort of indulging in a little bit of downtime at the moment.
So I would assume that this is like this conversation's happening right when you got back. So absolutely continue. We're having some good dialogue here. First for setting, just to kind of give you an idea of where you're at and what the fuck's going on. You're back at the dive. You've got your table. Nobody's fucking here except for the bartender. And
Mr. Markov is like stored in the basement.
Oh yeah, you probably brought him around the back, and he opened the big steel door that he takes in, like supply shipments in the back, and you just brought him in. There's like a small little staircase that goes down to a cool cellar down there, and it has like a great lock on top, so you can take and put a prisoner down there if you wanted to, but it's mostly filled with like frozen meats and like. He's got loaves of bread in there, so like he can thaw them out later.
I actually have
for the shitty bar food he feeds you assholes. Go ahead, sir.
Hey, I love his sandwiches.
You gotta keep those food costs down. You gotta do what you can do. Go ahead, Jonah, with your question.
I know that my psychic link, it doesn't say I can do anything with the mind. But, is there a way I can sort of interrogate Markov to see,
as we discussed last time, he is broadcasting the same kind of 3 points, the 3 bullet points. I didn't do it. I'm remorseful, as if I did do it, and I don't know what's going on. Confusion. These are the only three aspects you will glean, even if you directly tap into his mind. He is saying those things on repeat, and since you aren't using a spell that allows you to plumb the depths of his mind, the only
Yeah.
thing you're getting from him is what he's putting forward.
Poopy. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, I think I would say to Krungar to, I know that you have a lot of interest in this, so take your time, and if I think you should read it as much as possible, and then we could turn it in afterwards, because, like I said, this is something very important to you. I know a lot of the guys in this group do things for the money, but I know you don't do it just for the money. So now that we have this, go ahead. We'll turn in Markov late. It won't be the end of the world. We'll turn the book in too, but after you've read it. That's what I would say. I would say that in front of everybody, actually, because I think everybody needs to know that Krungar is here, and like if we don't give him this opportunity, he may just be like, "What the hell? I'm sick of you guys." I mean, he would be within his rights to do that because
Yeah, he doesn't ask for much.
Yeah, he doesn't ask for much, so you got to give this to him.
And he does the job, so yeah, exactly. Moro would have no reason not to grant him and trust him.
Right.
100%.
I appreciate that.
If we all putting our 2 cents into this, I honestly don't want to fuck with that book. We seen what it could do in the wrong hands. I'm not saying you the wrong hands, but messing with this type of magic or whatever the hell it is, I don't trust it.
I'll show you the wrong hands.
What?
I first came east to this city because I felt a calling. Something spiritual was bringing me out here, and I feel like this could be a part of that. And I just want to understand it, especially before it gets turned over into even more wrong hands, like the checkered scarves. There's no telling who they could give it to or what they could potentially do with it.
Yeah.
What I'll say, you're scared of the book, and I agree, it is something not to be messed with. Yet we'll give it to people that we have no idea what they're doing with it.
Oh,
I am more on the side of we hold on to this for sure.
Okay, how much time do we have?
they want it immediately, but they didn't say they would still pay us for the board. I'm not saying we give it to them. I'm saying we get rid of it, we burn it, whatever the
Yeah,
hell.
what if we made a forgery?
That would be very difficult, I think.
I mean, yeah, it would be very time consuming. I think the amount of time we have at our disposal is going to determine the quality of the forgery.
They'll be aware of what they're looking for, I assume.
Yeah.
So.
And there are certain spells we can use that could make that a lot easier. I just don't think as a spellcaster of my particular vocation has access to said spells.
Yeah, I don't have any way of making this item like exude magical energy or anything of that nature, so I don't know if I'd be of much help here.
Yeah, I don't know. The only thing I would say is, like, my thought is that we turn it over, but we give Krungar the amount of time he needs to read and absorb it as much as he can, because this is why I say that. The other option would be to lie about it and say we never found it, but that could be trouble. Eventually they could find out, and then lying to them. It's like lying to the person who feeds us. Like biting the hand that feeds us. These guys have been great to us, so.
I'm more than happy to lie to somebody if you need me to, Morrow.
Well, we know you are for sure. That's like what you're really good at. So I just
put on one of your
10.
Us. Just put on one of your 10 disguises.
What I'm saying is, if we say this to them, and let's say, a year down the road, somebody gets really drunk in a different bar, and somebody questions him and he lets it slip on accident, or he gets taken and questioned because they want to know what really happened to it. That's a very real possibility. You know, we're a small gang. We can't
Okay.
really. We people don't necessarily leave us alone because of our name. They do it because of the people who support us. Like,
Pause.
you
Well,
know,
maybe they
Pause,
should. Maybe
pause,
they
pause,
should
pause,
learn
pause,
to.
pause.
right.
Pause. So-
Pause. We paused.
Sorry, I was pausing right after Kevin. So whatever, I was glad I'm talking over the reply
Yeah.
because it doesn't happen yet. Copper, as everybody's talking and you're not as connected to the dialogue, you're kind of looking around. You've got your beer or whatever you're eating, you know, sitting out in front of you, and you look out the window, which is a difficult thing to do because it's smudgy. It's very kind of gross. You know, he just doesn't clean, right? But
Oh man.
you can see where your auto carriage is parked, which is kind of close to around the back, but just in view. And it looks like a guy with a checkered scarf is kind of looking it over and then turns and starts walking towards the dive. You guys go ahead, continue talking. Sorry, Cheb.
Oh,
Whatever the thought you just had, just recite it. Just do it again. I'm sorry for
Oh,
talking over
shit.
you. I just was trying
No,
to
that
cut you off.
That was
Guys.
yeah. Yeah. What's up? You haven't said much. What are your thoughts?
So point to the window. We got company.
Oh
Make
shit.
a decision.
Okay. But before he walks in, I say, let's say we didn't find it.
Do you stash
That's
it?
what
I tuck
Yeah.
it away.
I
On me.
take it. I'll take it. And I'll turn into a squirrel and run. up.
Krungar,
I would not. I would not.
Why
let
is
you.
a squirrel carrying a book?
yeah. If you guys want to get caught like wrestling over a book, that's absolutely an option. But you would see that Krungar very quickly tucks it away. Krungar, go ahead and make a sleight of hand check. You have advantage. There's a table.
So I guess at the sort of word that somebody. So do they like let us know that somebody from the checkered scarves is coming to?
Yeah. He said, guys, and he kind of stopped you from talking, kind of like I did, though. And then he said, guys, look who's coming, and pointed, and you all kind of like look that way. The windows are very gross, so you're seeing the guy, and all you're getting is like a silhouette and a checkered scarf. Not much
Okay.
besides that. And then you see Krungar stash the book. Go ahead, Chad.
At that sort of heads up, I'm going to cast Disguise Self on myself, and I'm going to make myself look like somebody who could be like Krungar's cousin.
I like that.
Khazgar?
That's awesome.
Cousin.
You're Rag Nurk.
Right, exactly.
I just said his name backwards, folks. So
No, Garnook.
There we go. I am not very smart when it comes to the matters of makeup, but I imagine in the time we were speaking, the makeup wasn't entirely off, based on just kind of paying attention lightly to my wife disassembling in the evening. So I would assume that just as you're about to switch to kind of orc face, like orc everything actually, it's like you're halfway through the makeup, you go, quickly put everything away as the spell's being chanted, and then whoosh. Okay? Anyone else doing anything in that meantime?
I'm going to try to look casual, like sit down at the bar and try to grab some beer or something. Just look like we weren't just talking, you know?
Okay.
I'm drinking again.
Do me a favor and make a deception roll, Moro. That's a really interesting one.
All right. Let's see. Oh, shit. I got to open my character sheet. It was not open before. What? I wasn't prepared. Oh, no. All right.
You
It's okay.
are not
I got this.
prepared.
I got this now.
And this guy just
All
flies
right.
in with two big ass like double-sized
And you said
blades.
it was a deception?
Oh, shit.
Deception.
All right, deception. I'm okay at that. I just got a +2 on it. It's okay. It's not horrible. It's
Well, you
not
rolled a
negative.
1, so that's usually.
Ooh, that's not
Oh.
so great. So basically, I spill the beer
Oh,
and I
no.
shit myself.
Oh.
and it's like, I'm like, "Ah!"
Mid-trip, he gets up so fast that just everything evacuates. Like the shit stays in the stool, but he leaves it.
Yeah.
I immediately
man.
use prestidigitation to make it not smell like shit.
Yeah. That.
No, I mean, I don't
escalated
really
very
shit
quickly.
myself. That would be really bad.
Look, you said
Maybe
what
I
you
fart.
said, okay? If you don't mean something, don't say something,
It's
okay,
a meta
Kevin G?
event.
It's a meta event. Yeah. Oh, well.
Elizabeth has said your name in the chat.
There is shit in the
Oh.
stool.
I thought Moro was rolling that. Oh, good times.
Oh.
Okay. Making fun of Michael's rule.
I'm gonna change my spells to guidance. So
Perfect.
I'm just gonna give you
Perfect.
guys
Gain
guidance.
Oh my
inspiration.
gosh.
Even though you're not
Uh,
in my
I
game.
hate you.
Okay. So when he enters, Moro's kind of like very clumsily trying to escape the table, very noticeably so. Krungar tucks the book away. Whether or not the individual sees it or not, you're not sure. Kirnell immediately is shifted. The legs or the lower portion of the last thing to kind of disguise, and that's all under the table, so we're good. And Varric and Copper, any kind of quick adjustments?
You said he's already opened the door.
Well, I'm
coming?
saying like I didn't give you a clear chance to
Prior?
say anything
Okay.
prior, so go ahead.
Is there a lock on this door, or a open close sign that I know of?
You do not feel like you would be able to get to the door and lock it at this point because again, you got a 10 on a perception check before that man is opening it. So you would have to fight him to push it close.
Oh, we're closed.
I have mage hand now.
Oh, interesting. The casting time I think would probably be about the same though, so it wouldn't change anything.
Oh well, yeah. I
Yeah,
guess it's
temporally,
it's an actual action.
yeah, 6 seconds is too much time.
You're right.
Is what I'm saying.
Okay, threw it out there.
If you have a reaction, that would be fine. But I would say, like, if you want to try and fight him for the door, I'll allow that.
No, I'm just gonna.
Just have
I
the
don't
mage
wanna,
hand hold the
I'm
door
gonna
closed.
screw up the whole
Nope,
thing.
that's
Like
fine.
I would just be chilling, so like acting natural.
Copper.
He's
Natural.
acting natural. He's not acting like he's acting. He is acting natural.
Door opens. Guy enters in. The individual. Sorry, can't even say words today. Holy shit. What? My tongue got very dry, and I don't know why.
Just do the tongue exercises in JoJo's Bizarre Adventure.
Fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, the guy who walks in is someone that you are aware is a messenger. This is not an enforcer. This is not a guy who does deeds. He is not a badass in any way. He's wearing the very typical kind of like, tight long coat that kind of covers up an individual and gives them a very simple silhouette. And then the scarf is kind of hanging off the side. And then he has the tricorn hat that's pretty typical of the messenger class. He enters in and he says, sorry?
Do we know him?
Not possibly. Moro knows this individual by name. He's very low tier. He's typically like a liaison between the 11th Street Gang and the Checkered Scarves. He may have been the same guy who handed Moro the message in the first mission. Because I didn't really describe that guy very well. So, yeah, he walks in, closes the door behind him, and says, "Hey, folks. The boss said the auto carriage was back in town, so I'm here to come check it out. Did you make do with everything okay, or?"
Yeah, you'll have to excuse me for a minute here, and I'm kind of like clean myself up and trying to get settled.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a success. We captured Markov. We have him held in the basement right now, and so we were going to turn him over in a little bit. We just wanted to kind of get cleaned up. As you could tell, things are kind of messy.
Yeah.
I kind of.
Oh, no problem. You just got back in. Did you get everything okay?
Well, I guess we didn't find a book.
Okay. I know we just had a shitty experience with a deception roll here a moment ago.
Oh yeah.
But
great.
Tis, I would like for you to make another deception roll.
All right, that's okay.
Please.
I would like to give you inspiration.
Oh, all right. Can
Bardic
I guidance?
inspiration?
No, like I have inspiration.
Oh, I have inspiration too.
Well,
actually, I have my inspiration. I could have done
Again,
that.
if you want to give him Bardic inspiration, that is an option. You
Yeah,
just
that's
have to
an
tell
option.
me
You can do
how
that.
you tell him he's going to be inspired for it.
I think it involves moonwalking and some sort of dance.
It's probably more of like something you say over the table.
Yeah.
I guess if
I
you
was
want to
just
break down into like a Ghostbustery and like dance off like the 2016 Ghostbusters, sure.
A dance off.
Just randomly throw a dance number into your film.
Basically, I'm just wait. How far away from you or away from us
We're
are
probably
you
sitting
now,
at the same
Mora?
table.
You're still at the
same
table. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
I didn't know if you actually got up to get a drink.
I
like
mean,
you
I may
kinda
be
said
standing at the
earlier.
table, but you guys are sitting. Yeah, I'm standing.
Yeah,
up.
I just kind of get up and just give him a pat on the shoulder as I walk over to the bar, as if to get another drink, and just whisper, "You got this."
Got
Okay,
this.
so you have
All right.
bardic inspiration, and then guidance as well. I'll say that's more than fair.
Yes.
The pat
People
was
at
the
home,
guide. The
I just
pat was the
rolled a
guidance.
16.
Okay,
16 plus.
so roll a
was that? What was
d4.
with the D4 for the guidance? All right. Or D4 for inspiration? No.
Now, do you
That's
wish to
another-
roll the bardic inspiration dice, the d6 as well on top of
Yeah,
that?
I definitely will because this is pretty important. I want to definitely roll that. Oh, it's only another one, so
That's
it's
fair.
a total of what?
21.
21, I guess. Yeah, 21. That's how math works, people.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll let you talk with the boss about it. Yeah, it's not a problem. Totally fine. Just when you get ready, he'll want to meet you at the Golden Vault. So just be there and on time. You can bring the crew if you want. I'm sure the boss will have some questions for the lot of you. And then I'm going to pause here for a moment to kind of do a bit of a flashback experience to explain something to you that is known to your characters but was never expressed to you because it was very much my intent to explain it this way. We know very little about the Checkered Scarfs. I think we can all agree. They are a gang that exists in the city of Penford that is notorious, not as strong as the Fellhoods, but a subsect of them. We understand that they're giving you jobs, and they run most of the streets that you're around. But who do they work under? That is a great question. You know that the individual that runs the Checkered Scarves wears a checkered scarf for purpose. He is said to be known as Hadrian the Headless, a man who holds a copy of his own head around with him when he goes and he talks with people. Not a stone statue of a head, not a carving of crystal, a human head that is identical to his own.
Yeah, it's fucked up.
It's said that he and this head were related, twins of some sort. The truth is known to you. The checkered scarves are called the checkered scarves because the scarf that's worn around the neck of the head and that is worn by the boss have similar purposes. They hide scarring. Inside of the scarf of the head that's in his lap, his guts and his spinal column reside inside. He's what's known as a penongolan, which are floating, vampiristic, undead creatures that can consume life force with a kiss.
Sounds familiar.
Hadrian
That's
is
bad.
very familiar as an
Yeah, he
eternal
was in other groups. Yeah.
as an eternal creature. He has always been a gang leader of some sort, and obviously he no longer resides in Rostagar because some assholes dropped a pyramid on it. So,
Yeah.
that said, Hadrian is ruthless. Hadrian is an individual who is very, very deadly. If he's meeting with you, I just want to make sure you understand. Even the 6 of you are aware that him by himself would be a problem to deal with. More so, or at least on par with, lady who threw you through a vault door.
So wait,
Right.
that's who we're dealing with at this very moment.
No, the guy is
No.
telling you you're going to meet at a place called the Golden Vault to speak with the boss. And the boss means Hadrian.
Yeah, Moro, you got this.
It's all you, baby. I'm gonna stay home. I'm gonna stay home on
Yeah.
this one. I gotta pick up on my stories.
That's right.
This is a story, man.
Catch up
You're
on my
very bad.
stories. Ain't no way. Ain't no way. Ain't no way.
Mm.
Like, yeah, I got a thing to do, and then he just like vanishes into the city to run scams on homeless people.
Yeah, he's like back to the old ways. He will leave. The messenger will leave. If
No.
you don't have any
No,
questions for
he's-
him, I'm just gonna leave it back to you. It's you
No.
and the barkeep alone again in the cabin. or in the dive.
Oh boy, guys, this is bad news. This is very bad news.
Yeah, Kierno drops his disguise and goes back to cleaning himself up. And he says, "Whoa, Moro, is there anything I can help you?"
Well, you can help me come up with a plan here. This guy Hadrian is not to be messed with. I hate to tell him the truth, but I'm not sure how we're going to get away with lying to him. So we got to figure something out. Anybody know how to do time travel?
Just go back in time.
Go back at we could take 7 days to do what you need to do with the book, and then all of a sudden come
That's
back.
very Doctor Who-ian of you.
Yeah, wouldn't that be great? I would love
Well,
it.
Morrow, I appreciate your ambition, but if time is of the essence. Let's be careful that your reach does not exceed your grasp.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, in my opinion, the easiest thing to do would just be to give him the book. He's not going to care about us if we give him the book. But at the same time,
Right.
I don't really want to give him the book. So,
Do we know what they intend to do with the book?
well, it doesn't matter because we won't be able to access it again. Once we give it to him, I mean, that would be a heck
know
of
that
a
for sure?
heist. I mean, I don't know that for sure. What we could do is, well, I'd hate to do that. I mean, how important is this book to you, Krungar?
I
mean, we
have
could.
an idea.
Okay, good. What's your idea? Let's hear it.
Me and Krungar will leave town. We are going back to the mansion, quote unquote, to look some
To
more.
find it. Yes, that's a good idea. I was thinking about that, but yeah, and then
We just wanted to bring the
there.
prisoner back because he's fucking insane.
Yeah, actually, the entire crew could go. We could have the entire crew go, and I could take the prisoner with me, hand him in to Hadrian, and then I could tell him that we haven't found the book, but we decided to go back because we realized it was very important. And then you guys could just take the time you need, and then give him the book when you're done.
I want to kind of get out ahead of something real quick before it becomes a problem, because you guys are bright cookies, but I think we're looking at kind of the meat and not so much at the potatoes. Can I have Varric, Morrow, actually the whole fucking lot of you, go ahead and roll your choice of either Arcana, Insight, or Perception. Depending on what you choose will determine what you will glean.
Well, there is a spell I have in mind. I just don't know the name of it or who can cast it.
I'm gonna do insight.
Also,
No, this is regarding something separate to what you guys were talking about. Sorry.
Yes.
Could you perhaps help me understand what that spell is? I believe it's a gathering magic spell that
What
lets
spell?
you copy documents.
Yeah.
That's not going to copy the magic.
It starts with an A. It's in the
be a
book
problem.
there. Omniscience, I think it's called. So holy shit. Everybody rolling hot.
Yeah. Well, 1 second, because
Even Sebastian rolled high.
Krungar.
my character.
I would say that in
And
the
Krungar.
time that he kind of walked up, and also the time he was leaving, you would have noticed that the guy, the messenger, seemed to be looking at the auto carriage a lot. You don't know why, but he seems to have been doing so. Like he was at the car when Copper first kind of and you are aware that that was the case. Now, Kevin, in the conversation, I said something very specific, very pointed, and I don't know if anyone got it, but I'm going to make sure that you know that Morrow did. At the beginning, he said, the boss said that the auto carriage was back in town. How did the job go?
Right. So he knows it's
Right.
back in town. He knows
And
for a fact.
with that information, Varric goes, they've got an arcane tracker on it. There's a device somewhere on the vehicle that identifies where the vehicle is at all times for
And
the
low
guild.
jacked.
You have been low-jacked, correct?
Oh no!
Like
That's a typical. We should have known.
it's like perfectly cyberpunky and crazy. But yeah, you would basically have an idea that happens to be the case. They knew right, like you were in the tavern for maybe an hour, and the messenger was on you.
Well, I mean, still our story would be 100% correct if we certain amount of people of us just hopped in that auto car and drove back to the site and searched for a while for days.
I just want to make sure that like my thought process on the setting is not because again, you're not me and you're not looking at the information as I am, but I want to make sure that you understand that your characters, being natives of the city, would be kind of aware that this is a possibility, and now they know it's a high, most likely.
Well, anyways, what do you think, Krungar? What do you think about some of these options? What we're talking about?
I think it's a good idea. Going back to the mansion to buy time.
Okay, I think there's a possibility if you do that Hadrian sends somebody, or maybe if he wants it bad enough, comes looking himself. I would totally recommend against fighting him. If he shows up, just give him the book because he's very powerful from what I've heard. I've heard a lot of stories about what's happened. I mean, I would have heard stories, right? I'm kind of assuming I would have, like by checking with people and stuff, you know.
Yeah, everything I said tonight, you know.
Yeah. So like, you know, but we may have enough time if you go there. You may be able to buy days and find out more information and you know get what you want. So I think it's going to be very unlikely that you're going to get 7 days, but 3 is possible. I think 3 is possible. Who would you want to go with? I mean, I don't think it's a bad idea necessarily to bring several people because we don't know what's going to show up there. Could be some other people that were working with the cult, or you know, Hadrian or whatever. So, you know, going by yourself might be a bad idea.
If our plan is to deceive him that we're heading back for it, and we are worried about him sending someone, does it make more sense if Krungar stays behind and someone else, a couple of other ones go? That way, if they do come, he'll still have the book hidden in the city.
Good point.
Ooh, a double
That's
fake.
a very good point.
I don't think the book.
I don't trust.
Fake it even more. I'll drive the car out in the middle of goddamn nowhere and leave it. I don't know where we're at.
Well, they know
it buys us crash off a cliff. We wrecked. Oops.
I saw a squirrel driving the auto carriage.
Buys us even more time, and if we're caught,
you
know, we'll get out of it.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
I mean that's not a bad idea at all. To have Krungar go off somewhere and just spend the time he needs or wants on it, and then we kind of just cause a distraction, you know, do something else.
Do you have any places that Krungar could go that you may have access to that are kind of off the grid and nobody knows you have access to them?
Oh, I think Moro would definitely.
Our brand new house.
Oh, we
gain inspiration there, Foxen.
There you go. There you go.
Remembering one of the more important things that happened last session.
Yeah, the house I want.
Sometimes it's a low bar for the inspiration. Sometimes it's kind of higher. I need the sick puns or the good joke. But that was very important. So, they won a house last time. Because the headless lady gave them a house. It's down here.
It was a sweepstakes.
No, it was called not being a dick.
It was clearinghouse sweepstakes. Yeah. We were like being respectful of dead bodies. That's always a good thing.
That's fucking awesome.
So yeah, you could go down to the resort.
Lionheart Manse.
Are we leaving Markov here?
I think we should.
Are we taking him straight over to the bosses now?
I mean, I think I should take him, or somebody. We should take him over to the boss now, kind of get him off of our hands. That way he doesn't escape or do something crazy. But I mean, I don't think we're going to get anything from questioning him unless we have some type of magic that can make it.
So
mind.
He was just babbling himself, right? So does anyone have any paper or pen? Paper and pen.
Like,
I'm sure.
In character or in real life?
Well, no, not in real life. In character. I'm announcing that does anyone have paper and pen?
Loaded. He's got a forgery kit. He's got everything.
Okay, one more thing I'd like to try with him before we hand him over here. So I bring you, Kiernail, down with me, I guess, since you have all the stuff for it.
Sure.
Okay, so we put the pen and paper, or I put the pen and paper in front of Markov at this point,
Jeez.
and then I want to cast the second level suggestion. Write down what was happening with this ritual and the book.
Okay.
Yeah, who put you up to this?
He will write very briefly because the spell's duration is not terribly high, but he will write finally in a kind of sense that's quick and shorthand. I don't know. I did not have any control over my own body. The ritual.
Well, you know,
I'm still
Worth a
writing.
shot.
if I could
I'm
access
still,
my
I'm still
character,
writing. I'm still writing.
Okay.
The ritual was beyond
You
me.
like
I'm still
gag
talking,
or
Chad. Shit. Stop talking over me, bro. Just trying to pen it out. Because, again, that was kind of left field. Give me a second here. He says, the ritual was beyond me, but one name kept ringing through. And the name you should have.
Adrian?
Okay. Sorry, Chad. What were
No,
you trying
no.
to say?
I was, because he's saying he doesn't know anything, and I'm wondering if I have other options, but my character sheet is not cooperating.
What are you going
It
to
won't
cast?
open.
Oh, we're going to cast like detect thoughts.
I am not entirely sure. I don't know if that is something that is at my disposal currently. I think it might be.
Take a
Because of
short
my
rest.
subclass.
We can say that you just did. So I mean, yeah, you have access to your spells.
Yeah, but I still can't even roll for it. It's like I said, my character has not been working since I first logged on.
Hold on, bear with me here. Go ahead and get out of your character sheet, please, and thank you.
Yes, sir.
I will fix it. You took the actor feat at 4th level.
Yes.
Okay, cool.
It's like it goes all the way to save and exit, and then it like locks out.
Got it. Okay, I can fix it. Talk amongst yourselves while I fix this, folks.
God bless.
All right.
I love it when John saves the day.
I do my best. Yeah, we were having this loop problem for the Tuesday game as well. I think we might have had one person who had it on Friday. I think it was Andy, probably. Typical, am I right?
So, who wants to go? Who wants to take the auto carriage and go back to the scene of the crime, as it were?
Yeah. I'm sorry. So, what are we going back there for? To do more investigation?
To pretend like we're looking for the book, when really we're just trying to give Krungar time.
Yep. Giving up Markov,
Okay.
telling him we're going back to the book.
You know what? That's not. It's not a bad idea.
I mean, we could all go. I mean, show how.
Yeah, we could all go. We could leave Krungar in the car. We could like maintain, I guess, a telepathic connection with him. He can hang out.
We're leaving Krungar here.
We were talking about leaving Krungar in the city so that we buy even more
he could
time.
he could work his way using public transportation or something, or just walking to that other mansion. But that's pretty far away, actually.
There's public transportation. You got Skyrail, you got trolley. There's
you have to do public transportation.
So there's another mansion.
No, just the one mansion. Yeah, you're currently not at the mansion because you haven't acquired the mansion.
Yeah, that's what I thought. We were like, I don't know, but I guess everybody's talking about going back. That's not a bad idea.
No,
they were obviously up
there. All right, there's 2 mansions. I think I see them mixed up. Some are going back to the mansion outside of the city. Krungar is going to the mansion that you won that's inside of the city.
I got you.
Yeah, I see where the
it's like our new base of operation.
Right. Hideout.
But also, guys, if we're doing it this way, because I'm scared of them finding out. Being
so let me ask.
I say that we probably should not give him a ride to our secret mansion.
No, definitely
not.
not.
I was going to say.
Jack. Okay.
Definitely not. Definitely not. That's
Like-
what I'm saying. He should either walk or get
Give him
Gotta figure it
invisibility.
out.
participation.
Cast invisibility on him. Say go.
Yeah.
I don't mean to, sound like somebody who may or may not have done this before, but if you have an extra hideout that is off the books that people don't know about, it's probably best to keep it that way.
Exactly.
Agreed.
Exactly. That's why I'm thinking like we should not conduct business out of this new location. This should be like
No,
a
or if we're
hideout.
gonna send Krungar over there on his own, at least let me, powder him up so he's a little less recognizable.
I like that idea.
Yeah.
You know what, Kiernel? Sometimes
She's just a
I
big
just want to
human.
kiss you.
She's a really big human.
Yep. See, the joke's
this
on
all
you.
sounds good to me.
My goal this entire time was putting makeup on Krungar.
Give him a
I knew
blonde
it.
wig.
I knew it. Did
Make me
anybody ever
pretty.
play My Pretty Princess? I played that with my daughter because I have a daughter. So
Give
like
Krungar-
she like you
I've
get
heard lots of
you
good
put, like,
things. I'm about to give it a whirl.
you put like
Krungar, come here.
things on and all sorts of stuff. It's
Okay.
interesting.
Hold on a second here, folks. I am having Roll20 issues galore. I thought it would be an easy fix, and there is no god. So
It's that raw chaotic.
I gotta kill
Here now.
all the Chrome windows.
Windows.
Well, hey, I'm glad it wasn't just me being. I was like, am I really this dumb? Like,
No,
So
you're not
I-
that dumb, Chad.
Dude, I was having Roll20 issues the
Evan.
whole time I was trying to level up earlier today. Like, it was a nightmare. I couldn't read any spells that I had access to choose unless I did very specific things. Like, it was annoying.
Messing with you.
Okay, keep talking though.
All right. So, anyways, I'm gonna have to stop eating that crazy food I've been eating. It's really not agreeing with me.
so I think one
I'm
of these
sorry
days.
you guys had to see that.
Chase.
I
think
love
one
that
of these
you owned
days-
it.
Kiernel is going to convince everybody to embrace alternate identities. We're going to form a breakaway gang that secretly works to oppose the checkered scarves.
Oh yeah, and then you could call it the
Goddamn right.
reverse number of the number that you are. So it'd just be the 11th Street Gang.
Yeah. High five.
Perfect. It'd be the most.
Perfect.
Oh gosh,
That is
why
a
would you do
300 IQ play.
The one is facing to the right instead of the left.
They're calling themselves the 11th Street Gang. Those bastards! We're the 11th Street Gang.
Get him.
There it goes. Okay,
Nice.
fixed.
Let's mug him.
And then, please work. What was I saying?
You were
Oh, right.
saying that
The plan, just wanting to confirm it. You are going to meet with Hadrian. That we're going to do here in a moment. You're not taking Krungar with you. In the meantime, Krungar is going to waltz, just traffic across the town or the city to the secret house. And this is again, it would be later in the afternoon after you acquire the deed and basically put in the work for that. Great. And then you go to Hadrian, you're delivering Markov to him. And then you guys are going to leave the city in the auto carriage to go back to the mansion, which is only a couple of hours, really. It's not a terribly long gig. To look for the book.
And we are
Right.
still make-upping Krungar because I loved that idea.
Oh, okay, right. And sorry, the
If,
most
if everyone
important
agrees.
thing,
If everyone agrees.
the thing that is most narratively important is that Krungar is now the hair that normally just kind of hangs is like done up in like a cool like what are those things? Man bun. That's the one.
fun.
Yeah, and then he is got blush on.
Yeah, Himbo Krungar. Hell yeah.
Is the himbo
Hey,
Krungar.
They know who we are. I don't need anyone tailing Krungar. Oh, there's the one orc that works for us.
Yeah.
Works with us. Like, let's maybe follow him since he's not going
Like
through.
we have the opposite effect. Like people are actively flocking to him and swarming him on the street.
He's also massive. So what I want,
So
real quick, is I would like the disguise roll from Kirinel regarding Krungar. May or
Okay.
may not be important. And then I would like to note that the process is going to be later in the day because you still had to go get the deed from the house, or you already got the deed from the house. You still need to go through the paperwork process to secure the house. So that's basically your day to day for one person until the Patreon week.
All right,
Or-
I can do the paperwork for the house.
Okay.
I know the rest of the people are probably not too into that.
Okay. And then when you're signing the paper and putting the deeds in, you just put it under Moral Longfoot or Longfoot, right?
That is a good question. I guess so. I don't know.
Yeah.
What would the rest of the group be like if I did that? Like,
Well, they
I'm
didn't elect to
someone-
do it. You were the one who nominated for it.
Oh,
right off
okay,
the bat,
okay.
so
Well, then I will do that. I will
if
do
you
that.
feel like it's a rush job, you got to get it done ASAP. So
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
I think you're great, Kevin. I did be mean there on purpose, though. So,
What was that?
I was just saying, haha, I did a mean thing.
No,
I said a mean thing.
Don't
Okay.
worry about it.
Then, with that said, Krungar, you are out of the next conversation and are beginning your study of the book.
Yar.
Do it.
Are you studying the book to learn its rituals, or are you studying the book to consume it?
Fuck.
3 days for the rituals, and that's all of them together. You take you 3 days to learn what all three of them do. And then it'll take you 7 days to consume the book and gain the benefit.
I got a question.
Shoot.
Could Krungar do the rituals first and then do 4 days after that, the total 7 days to consume it?
No.
Like, that would have been good if he could.
So if I was cautious about it, it would be 3 to understand what I'm doing, and then another 7 to consume
It would
it.
be 3 to know what the rituals are, and then 7 to get the benefit of the magical book.
Oh my god, why you do this?
Because
That's a lot of time. That's a lot of time.
I'm gonna YOLO it.
Go for
I'm
7.
reading it to consume it.
Okay.
Do it. Good plan.
All right.
Yeah. I'm ready to hand you my character sheet.
That's great. I'll look at it and hand it back to you, I guess. Unlike with fucking Chad, because
Yeah, it's like roll 20 is a rabid dog that does not want to let my character sheet go.
I'm back to the character sheet. You're still level 3. What I'm going to ask you to do here, since the level up function is not working for you, you'll need to manually apply the level up. Do you understand what I mean by that?
Yeah, like basically
You took
just
the-
manually
Yeah, you
change
took the
all the
actor
things.
feat. You should be able to drag and drop the actor feat onto your character sheet.
Right, and then I'll manually increase my charisma by
Yep.
1.
I
All right,
believe
this
in
ought
you.
to be fun.
I'm sorry. I can only apologize.
I
No,
don't
it's
have-
not your fault. Definitely roll 20s. I'm glad I'm not the one that was like at fault here. Roll 20s is with me. Shit.
It for sure was.
I
Okay.
don't have all of my like not traits, but like the
I
features.
just want to throw all of them out of a window.
He means our
sheets.
characters.
The
No, he means
sheet.
our characters.
Oh,
I think.
both. Fine. You know what? Players, characters,
We're all
and
dead.
the
I'm
sheets.
out the window.
I'm just
Everyone.
defenestrating.
Goodbye.
I'm defenestrating the whole lot. Okay.
Yeah.
So who's going to meet with Hadrian? Moro, you are required.
Definitely going. Yeah.
I'm definitely not.
It
Kirinel's
wouldn't be
out.
bad if somebody else who could kind of give me an inspiration or something went, but that's not necessary. You know,
Is Varric going to the meet with Hadrian?
I do have my own inspiration, so I could like use that if I really need.
I can play you a little song beforehand, though.
Last for 10
more-
minutes.
Outside the
Get a little
door.
more inspired.
Outside the
Not
door,
even
plays
to
a
get him
little
through the
jingle.
door.
I'll hype you up, man.
Hype.
You got this.
He's a hype man. Definitely.
You are not going. Is that right,
All right.
Michael?
Are you sure, Moro? I will go with you, but I
I'm so
respect your
uncertain.
decision.
I mean, yeah. Go with me then. If you're offering, I could definitely. If things go
Valentine?
south, yeah. If things go south,
Let's meet the big
Oh.
man.
Yep.
It's such a tough decision.
Your bro's going though. I mean,
I know.
That's right. You gotta
I
go
gotta
now.
go. I gotta go.
it's,
You gonna miss
You
out
know
on those
what?
6 songs on the way there?
If you guys split up, you'd be like crying
your
and be
cutie
like, We're
patooties that
never
in there. You
going
gotta
apart."
I gotta go with them.
gotta
I gotta go.
go. And then Copper, last but not least, are you going to the function or are you going to lay low?
Probably gonna lay low. He doesn't know this guy. He just hears rumors.
Okay.
He's like, I'm new to town. I don't know this. This guy
Copper-
sounds like trouble.
Copper doesn't know better.
Yeah, Valentine's like, fuck it, I'd win. And it's like, hey, I don't know. And he's like, yeah, I'd win.
All right. So you arrive at the Golden Vault. So the Golden Vault is an establishment near the Colosseum. I'm going to place Moro's token upon just now. The Colosseum in the Middletown area. It's used for a lot of things. It's not used for gladiatorial contests, because those are strictly illegal in Journaris, and most of that is done underground, pit fighting. However, there are some games that are played in the Colosseum that are not too shy of what a duel or a gladiatorial match would be. More often than not, though, this arena is used to tell tales in a play-like fashion, a circular theatrical stage that kind of functions as a very potent amphitheater for these individuals. The Golden Vault is a casino where most of the gambling that deals with
Sorry.
those specific games is located. Now, gambling is also not legal. It's why you have gambling casinos up on the north side and hidden away in cliff faces. What you know about the Golden Vault, however, is it does not push itself as a casino. It pushes itself as a bank. Nobody knows that it is what it is, except everybody knows it is what it is. If people ask you, you don't know. But everyone knows, so no one's going to ask. Make sense?
So they must pay off like the police or whatever.
The scarves are aligned with the fell hoods. So it's very much the case that the threat of more gang presence in this space is more than likely the deterrent for law enforcement that stops them from trying to do a single fucking thing about Hadrian's presence here. You also know that it's a lovely spot that has its own port section of the port, and it also has an underground network of tunnels that, from what you understand, sprawl all the way out to the Colosseum. It's believed in older times, during, much earlier epochs, that the Colosseum was used for gladiatorial combat, and sometimes the individuals who were wounded in these gladiatorial combats needed to be moved from this location to the more refined, like, medical districts and church districts away from here. So they'd be moved through those tunnelways and basically sent off on the channel, or the inlet there, to wherever they needed to go. It takes you about 20 or 30 minutes to get into the vault. It very much is a boring process, but it's not one that I think anyone here, with the exception of Copper, hasn't done before. Meeting Hadrian isn't the only reason to go to the vault. It's just the reason you happen to be going to do so today. There's also the gambling. There's also the meeting with job givers. There's also the tithing, or rather dues paying for the guild. Not quite tithing, because it's more of a religious practice. But yeah, the dues being paid. This is effectively the guild hall for the checkered scarves.
Did we bring Delphon with us?
Yeah, I assume so. Is that
Sure.
right? We're taking the guy, we're tossing the kid, right?
I think we should take more.
Yeah, he goes right back into the trunk. Or sorry, no, he goes back in the back seat because Kernell's still in the trunk. That's where he's hiding out the whole time. He'll never catch me here.
Yeah.
I'm gonna disguise myself as a trunk. And then Chad's like, I've done it. I've become a mimic. I've become
He became a mimic.
Become the
There
mimic.
you go.
And he
Come full
Chad
circle.
just starts floating in the like he's not even in the zoom, but he appears in the zoom and he's just like floating up into the air. We're like, what the fuck is happening, Chad? Ascension. I've done it, friends.
Come
Sorry.
on, man.
Sorry. That was just too
not
real.
you. Roll 20. Roll 20's being a bitch.
Oh shit. Well, good thing you're hiding out, I guess.
Yeah.
Yep. Focusing up though. So it takes you about 30 minutes to get through. What I want to explain to you is you are aware that no weaponry is going to be brought into the space without scrutiny. So if you wish to bring weapons into the space, you will need to make a sleight of hand roll. If you have magical weapons,
like my club cane.
well,
Actually, no, I'm not. I think I'm going to be hanging out with Krungar because I'm not going to.
Oh, you're
meet
not going
this.
with
you're not
Krungar
going.
either.
But
no,
speaking of club cane, I have
He
one.
disappeared into the alley. He's like, I'll see y'all later.
yeah, I figured
Oh,
you
okay.
just
Then I guess I
disappeared.
am going to go run scams on homeless people.
Yeah, I thought that was a real thing. You weren't
God
joking?
damn
Okay,
it.
yeah. Let's
You
fucking
can't
go.
do that. Moro would hate that. You
No,
go
that's
running
fine.
scams on homeless people? Jesus. Go money from the rich. Take
Moral the
money
whole
from the
time
rich,
just gritting his teeth.
I
swear
know. He
when
does
I'm
it
done
just
with
to
this
spite me, I
meeting,
think.
I'm going to
He's
tell
like, "Dad would
Hadrian
hate this."
Kernell's the one who did this.
Like, you know,
We think
Uncle
Cornell
Jem
has
would
the
always
book.
love a good scam.
We got Maggie.
Uncle
Come
Jem
on.
Witch
man.
always loves a good scam. Just not
Oh,
on
yeah.
homeless people.
Not on homeless people. Jesus Christ.
Well, you know, I'm giving them something to do and maybe a way to
Give
earn a
them-
little bit of money in
Whoa.
the process.
That is the greatest thing I've ever heard a criminal say. I'm just
So
giving them something to do.
altruistic. This guy who scams old ladies out of their pension.
If I didn't scam them, they'd have nothing to do.
Well, you know, at the end of the day, they're going to have a little bit more money in their pocket.
Technically, I am fixing the computer, but it is from a
Yeah.
problem I put on it.
Yeah, exactly. Oh well, Chad, that's exactly what I would expect Kernell to do, but Animora would hate it. So it's a good thing that you just hide it from him. He doesn't want to.
Oh, yeah,
Like, I love that
absolutely.
shit.
Does
And it's
not
like
wanna
he's
know.
totally going to be doing it under the guise of like a completely different person. So even if you hear about it,
Aw.
it's like it wasn't Kernell, it was somebody else.
Oh, I'm having so much fun, folks.
He has so many bad habits, that Kernell guy.
So I'm gonna go beat for beat. Moro, do you take any weaponry in?
I'm
with
gonna
you?
take my cane, which I use as a club, but I try not to fight ever because that's for for people
Okay.
bigger than me. That's what I say.
Okay. And,
Younger than me.
Also, they would request that you turn over your holy symbol as well.
Ooh.
Whoa, how rude.
Ooh.
Yeah, I guess I would do that.
Okay.
I mean, I'm not gonna fight him on this.
Varric, weapons. Taking anything in?
No weapons.
Okay. And
Do
no
we wear armor?
crazy weapons on you at all, right? Yeah, you can wear armor. It's clothing.
I
have a
don't
chain
have
shirt, but-
armor anymore, so.
No, not you. More.
No,
Oh.
I would say me. I wear like chain shirt underneath my
Yeah,
shirt.
we know it's now just super
Yeah.
McChesterton, like,
Yeah.
I can block weapons with my flexing.
Spears by an
Hey,
ogre.
I dance.
Yeah.
I can kill
Yeah,
enemies
so
with
I'd
my
leave.
flexing.
I have a rapier, but also the wand of magic missiles. I'd leave both those.
Yeah, if you don't have anything on your person that would be considered a weapon or could be used to harm someone else, then you're fine. Otherwise, they will take those items and they will put them away. Valentine, they ask you for weapons. You give them your mundane weapons, I assume.
Yeah.
And so far as to say, nothing has registered you as a scion, so there's no reason they would think that. Copper.
Copper didn't go.
Oh, you weren't going.
No.
Okay.
He doesn't know the big balls, man. He doesn't want them.
Oh, I thought you said I'm going. I don't
Okay.
care who the big boss is. I've never.
I don't know
Oh,
what this
yeah.
guy is. Y'all go ahead. Like,
No,
Yeah,
I
that's
see
what he
you.
said.
I see you. You're hanging
Yeah, I
out at the
just
bar
know.
with the bartender. Got it.
no, he's gonna do a little ritual while y'all go.
Perfect. Okay, so then it takes you about 30 minutes to get in. Once you make it through, you head to a back room that appears to be connected to the main kind of hall of the space, and is set in a position which could function or double as a box seating arrangement that looks out over the Golden Vault's like theater and stage. Um, so you're taken into an area you've never been before in the vault. And you would notice that the guards that are present here are some of the baddest looking motherfuckers you've ever seen in your time knowing the checkered scarves. Like, it looks like these people were specifically stationed here for purpose. Let's murder people who try to do bad things here. You're welcomed into this very lavish looking kind of penthouse style kind of room. And the man whose picture I've shown you before, Hadrian, with his brother, is seated on a very comfortable looking couch, which sits across from two other couches that look like they could occupy or fit three people at a time. Going from left to right again, Kevin, do you sit at the space? Again, he does not gesture for you to sit. He seems to be just sitting there quietly, possibly reading a book. You can't tell from right away.
Would bowing be like appropriate to like a leader of a gang or no?
No, this isn't nobility.
Right. He's not nobility. All right, I would just say, I would say, hello. I don't think I've ever met him. I'm gonna say, unless you say I have, but I would say I am Moro Lonefeet. These are my associates, Sebastian and Varric.
He looks up slightly from his book, and then kind of places his fingers underneath the cover and shuts it. You would see that it's seated near the head in his lap. And Moro, since you're kind of the first one addressing him as you approach, you'd notice that the eyes of the head were looking down at the book and then shift up to look at you. It doesn't look like there's any expression. It just very much looks like the eyes inside of the head are moving.
Wow, is that like something? Is that like its own being, or is it like he controls it?
Are you
Like, would I know?
asking out loud, or is this?
I'm not asking out loud, but I'm wondering if I could tell. Can I
Oh,
tell if
they
that-
do appear to be independent.
They're independent. Interesting.
Yeah. Jonah, Valentine, walk up and sit, or anything else?
I guess. I would say it, but
Is there a bar?
Yeah, there's a small little bar. That's true.
He's just gonna if Hadrian is looking at us, and then if the guards are looking at us, he's just gonna point with a quizzical face at the bar.
And then kind of like, look that way. As Hadrian kind of looks up at Moro, you see his eyes kind of shift from Moro to directly overhead where the massive Goliath is standing, doing kind of a like Mother May I kind of look. And you see Hadrian says, "Please," as he gestures his hand towards the bar.
He's gonna go immediately start drinking.
And Varric?
Hey, Valentine, I'm gonna come on over and get a drink with you real quick.
So
Good luck, Moro.
The buddies sit over at the bar.
Bodyguard.
It is self-service. There's no people to kind of mess with you, so you just start seeing bottles that you know are like very expensive. There's a very strange-looking blue bottle up the top that looks like it has gnomish writing on it, and then it has like a common label underneath it, and it says Kurt Gosler's Finest, and you're like, "What's that?
Yes.
I've never even heard of that." And then whoever has like the higher intelligence score of the two of you would know that like it's the toppest of the top shelf vodka made
We're
by
going for
the
that.
Gosler family in this city.
We're going for the Gosler family stuff.
All right. Yeah.
I won't tell you what
Worst
Zach
guess.
Fenoff called it,
No,
because then you won't want it.
I'm sure they could come up with it.
Maybe. I'm sure they could, but
Once you sit, Moro, Hadrian looks at you and says, "The messenger said that you did not have the book as yet. You're going to return for it. You simply wish to make sure that the..." And kind of gestures to the lad who's kind of seated, probably by the guards once you handed him over,
right.
seated kind of across the room near the door.
That's correct. We will recover that book.
I can
Just
appreciate
give me a
that.
little time.
I can appreciate that. Not a problem. Do take your time and make sure that you find it. I am very intent on securing the book. The individual who had it prior, I think, is very intent on the book not being read. I would advise you to not read it whatsoever. But if you dabble, just don't read the whole thing.
Why would that be? Did he say why?
I did not get a direct answer from him, no. I presume it's due in part to it being some sort of magical text.
Mm.
I know that he's paying for it, so he will get it as he likes. That is what we do.
Oh, absolutely.
Your gang has worked very well for us of late. I feel like we've definitely created a nice symbiotic relationship. You aren't exactly the largest group of individuals that have bandied together to do their own business and supplicated to us. But, so far as to say, you are the most efficient.
Why, thank you. We enjoy doing these things for you. And
Well,
we have a group of talented individuals, so
I want to make sure you understand, too. Mention of the book's power wasn't stated to you by the individual who explained this to you. But since I have you here, I might as well make sure that you understand that you will be paid after the book has been inspected if it has been utilized incorrectly. We will have a problem. We will need to find out who did that and ensure that we are able to extract what they took. If that ends up being someone you know or care about, that would be a problem for us and our relationship, which, as I said, is going so very well.
understood.
He looks at you, and it's almost kind of like a very piercing direct. Did you find another buyer?
I was like, excuse me?
Did you
What
find
do you
another
mean?
buyer?
Another buyer for what?
The messenger said you had the book and made a move to
That's
try and
news to
hide it.
me.
And made a move to try and hide it from the messenger.
That is news to me. I don't know what this messenger of yours is saying, but they're not very good.
Are you calling my messenger a liar?
I think they just have the wrong information.
They wear the scarf, and you do not. Jonah?
We will find the book for you. That I promise.
Of course. If you do have another buyer, and you would like to renegotiate the matter, we certainly can do that. However, I don't typically negotiate with people I feel are being dishonest with me. It makes negotiations so very difficult. Don't you agree, Nadria? The head looks up and kind of looks over at Moro and then kind of shakes a bit in the scarf, and it kind of loosens the scarf enough that you can see like a bulging lung seated just underneath their chin, hiding under the scarf, pulsing as it takes in breath.
In my mind, I'm thinking, man, Copper would think this is the coolest shit, I'm sure. But that's just in my mind. Hopefully he
So,
can't read it.
If you wish to renegotiate the price, you would have to do so with the buyer. However, if such a negotiation, rather renegotiation, were to take place, this would bring a great stain on our relationship. It would bring a great stain on the checkered scarves. The only way I could see repayment being granted in that regard is if you were to bear the scarf yourself.
Now, does that mean become? I'm saying this to you because I think Moro would probably know. Does that mean to become a checkered scarf, or he's going to cut my head off and put a scarf around it?
The first one.
Yeah. That's something I don't really want to do. Yeah.
So what you understand the scarf to mean is he wears it, and so does his brother. They are hiding something with the scarf.
Right. So that's bad. That's very bad. Obviously, I don't want to do that. Moro would say, "Understood. You will have that book."
Whoa. The oh god, what's the person who hands out cash at a fucking casino? I knew this last week. We were doing casino shit.
Teller.
Yeah, speak to the teller, and they should be able to accrue enough currency to pay you for the job as it stands. I trust that you will return the codex to me unread. I'm willing to pay you up front. Also, if you tell me who it is that tried to buy this out from underneath me, give me their name, I will pay you 5 gold what I said I would pay you before.
Whoa. That's a lot.
Chow was 150 gold pieces, by the way.
That was 150 each.
Per person, yeah. So 5 gold would be
5 times
a
that,
number.
right?
I'm bad at math.
Would be,
This is canonical.
would that be like 750? Is that right? Or am I
Sure.
not doing
I don't
right?
know. I'm going to take your word for it in this instance because, like I said,
I'm not great at
It'd be 750.
shit.
I'm not great in my head either, but even though I'm an engineer, I'm just not good at it. That's what you got calculators for. All right. So, anyways, yeah, I want to get the hell so badly. So,
You're free to go.
let's just go.
And since
Let's get the hell out of here.
you might be taking a trip out of town or maybe somewhere in town, you're free to keep the auto carriage for the time being.
Excellent. It'll make our trip to the mansion or to the site a lot easier. It was a mansion, but yep, sounds great.
And make an insight roll, by the way.
Me?
Yeah.
Me. All right, let's do this. Insight roll. I got a +6 on this, so theoretically. All right, 21. I've been rolling.
For our
pretty
trip back to
decent
the
'cause
mansion, or whatever.
Yeah.
It was your last word there. When you
Yeah.
said that, it caused his face to kind of like roll his eyes and kind of shift to the side. Like you're playing a game that we left behind. Like it feels like Hadrian has already seen through the lie.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And he's
Right.
basically like, cute. He's still playing the game or trying to.
Right.
So you're very aware that the deception, at least from Hadrian's perspective, is kind of the jig is up, so to speak.
Yeah, the jig is up.
They saw the damn book. Somebody rolled a 12.
When we get to the car, I guess everybody we're outside the place, outside the vault, and everything. I'm gonna like tell everybody. If they ask them if they heard exactly what happened, did you get all of that?
Valentine and Barrick are both there, yeah.
Yeah. Did you guys get all that? We got to come up with some plans, and they've got to be good ones.
Yeah, I heard that we're screwed. If I heard that correctly.
I told you from the beginning. Don't fuck with this book.
I want to pause for a second because it might shift your mood on how this conversation goes. Sorry, Jonah and Barrick. Okay. Imagine the crispest, most beautiful tasting, absolutely like the nectar of the gods, just crisp as water, just perfectly smooth vodka, right? We're talking that that Dan Aykroyd shit, right? We're talking about that crisp. That's what you just drank out of the Kurt Gosler bottle. That's what's inside of you. So it's definitely kind of a dichotomy of damn, all right, and oh shit. That's kind of happening at the same time there. But I would say that your spirits are probably a little bit heightened in the moment, so to speak. So don't be
Okay.
too dour, because remember,
Yeah.
Kirk Osler's finest. It was really good.
You're right. You're right. This is ruining my high. I told you not to fuck with that book. Damn, that shit was so
Well,
good.
now we're in a kind of a predicament because I don't want to, give him back the book immediately. I would like Krungar to get his fill of it, but
Moral.
at the same time, we're gonna have we have some opportunities here. We might want to ask the entire group, like if we can pin this on somebody else as a buyer, that's 5 times the amount for each of us. It's a lot of gold.
Moral. The only one we have available is the oh shit, what was her name? It was the lady. The only one who's alive is
About killing people.
Verity. She's the only one that has the possibility to buy this book. Everyone else is dead.
I mean, I see what you're saying based on what we've been doing. We could dig deep into our backgrounds and come up with somebody.
The words you're saying, I get.
I get what you are saying,
But there's
you
more
know,
people in this city.
More.
We're in a city.
there are so many people.
More.
There's I could probably come up with 10 or 20 people that we could just try to pin this on that
More.
might be
You-
worthwhile.
More, you know I'm not religious, but in the name of Octavius of Gemwich, I think, whoever is out there listening,
No, it's
How dare you take Gemwich's name in vain?
There you go. There you go.
we need to give him this book unread. Because I know you don't want to wear a checkered scarf, and I don't want to wear a checkered scarf, and I'm damn sure Kirnell doesn't want to wear a checkered scarf.
Yeah, but here's the thing: is define unread, right? Like how
Right.
much? How much
Unread.
unread? Like
You
I don't want to read it enough to activate or utilize any of the magic, but I do want to know what's going on in between those covers. There's a couple things in there I had some
Reads
questions about.
99.5% of it.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Doesn't read the afterword.
He's gonna hold it in his hand and it's gonna say 99 or it's gonna say 0.3% completed. He's gonna be like, "What the fuck?"
You've unlocked 45 out of 50 achievements.
I'm going to follow what you say, but I need you to know I ain't with reading the book.
Yeah, that's fine, but I think we should have an understanding of what is in that book before we hand it over to somebody.
It's a bad idea.
Sure, but I'm not advocating that we use the book to its fullest potential. That it is essentially unused, not necessarily unread.
Has anybody, I'm going to say we got back together with everybody because Kirnell is talking in here and stuff. Has anybody ever thought of taking an extended vacation into a different city?
Oh
the
yeah,
whole damn
I've done
thing
that
into-
many times over the course of my life.
I cut the
Going
whole
to the
D&D
pirate
session.
adventure. We're out at sea. Goodbye.
I just cut the whole D&D session and it just turns into like an advertisement for like a timeshare.
Right, exactly.
A timeshare
Are
and
you being
fucking
chased by checker scarves?
a timeshare in Seosade, the Isle of Dragons. It's like
There you go.
drink a
Yeah,
draconic Mai Tai.
So yeah, we're going to need to talk with everybody. Given the recent information, we're going to have to talk to Krungar too. We have to get him because, this is some serious shit. I don't know.
Yeah, you can just hit him up on the stone.
True, I can.
You're in the city.
Not in the low jack con. Do
Not in the
call
low
him
jack-
in the
no.
low jack con.
I'll call him when we get to either Lake Street Dive.
Yeah, that reminds me. We need to figure out how they're tracking that car. Get rid of it.
Well,
No,
do we?
sorry, I
Maybe
didn't-
we shouldn't get rid of it.
I heard something paranoid stated there by Jonah, and I just need to
Yeah.
heighten that paranoia because it's my job as dungeon master. You had that whole
Right.
conversation in the car.
Yep.
Like maybe they can hear and see with that.
Uh-huh.
Son
You
of a
guys are talking about what
fucking
you
bitch.
They
No,
already
no,
know.
no.
All
I'm
right.
gonna be a good DM though. I'll be a nice one. I did want the paranoid to sit there for a little bit, but no, you would know it's just a location tracker. It's locate object, not
Okay.
scry.
All
Okay.
right. Yeah, you know, there are some.
Sorry, folks at home.
Stormloft can be really pretty this time of year.
It's fall. It's about to get nice and crisp, wintry.
Geez, guys. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's
Nice and
pretty
crispy.
bad. Unless
See the
somebody can think
barrier
of a
peaks
really
just
good idea.
brilliantly over the black wall of Stormloft. Yeah. They serve Kirkaldor's best there too.
Yeah. So guys, let's think about this a little bit before we decide to give up. You know, we're all smart individuals. We could think of some good ideas. To destroy a book like this, I've heard that you need like the fang of a basilisk or something. You need to stab it in it, and it like kills it or something. Or wait, maybe that is a movie I read, a book I read, or whatever.
I would say just so we can get past it in the future, so if that question is asked, the way to destroy the book is burn it.
Burn it.
Okay, but why are we
There
defaulting
you
to
go.
destroying this book when really it's just like, hey, don't let Krungar read it as much as he wants?
No, let's let Krungar read as much as he wants, and then destroy it, and then go move to Stormloft and start
Okay,
a
so
new
if we're
game.
heading, if we're
Right,
heading to
move
this
down.
mansion, if we're heading to this mansion to supposedly look for the book, what would happen if we instead headed to this mansion,
And burn it.
kind of, toss the place looking for anything of any value or interest, and then when we're done, just accidentally start a fire?
Great question.
I mean,
Moro, do
it
you
could
explain to Kiernel that Hadrian outed that he knows you have the book?
Yes,
Yeah,
I do. I
okay.
do. So, like,
Okay.
we have to think of a good idea, like maybe one of these like heists where you switch something at the last second, or I
Why
like
not
the
just
idea
give
of-
them the book? I don't understand.
Well, I mean, I'd like Krungar to be able
That's
to
what
read
I've been
it.
saying
I
the
mean,
whole time.
I'm a great wingman. I want Krungar to read that damn book.
I
Sure, but you
understand.
can't always get what you want.
True.
I
True.
think our best deal is to hand him the book unread. Because if he knows that we have it, and he kind of threatened us with eternal servitude, I think we should give him the book.
All right, what does everybody think? Because I don't run this as like I don't make you guys do anything that we don't all want to do. So what does everybody think?
Well, you would also
Krungar, I
just
want to hear from
Look.
Krungar first.
Go ahead.
Call Krungar.
go ahead.
I'm gonna call Krungar and tell him that we need to meet together face to face to discuss things. Things just got real.
Can I see what?
So,
The
like,
real world.
Joe?
Nothing.
Uh-oh.
Oh, all this? Yeah, I can see all this. I mean, this
No.
happened.
What's going on?
Well, it appears that Hadrian knows that we have the book, but we're trying to figure out what to do. So I'm still not in favor of just giving it to him, but we've got at least Sebastian that's definitely in favor of that. All the rest of the guys are kind of like not sure. So we need to talk about this, unless you're just going to disappear, which is an option, but I don't recommend it. This guy Hadrian's pretty nasty. But we might be able to think of something. The book can be destroyed by burning it. We do know that.
And nobody
you-
gets paid anyway, right?
That's true. If
Oh.
if we could frame somebody else as offering us money for, then you'd give us 5 times it. But that's going to be very hard to do. I don't know if any of us have that capability to easily frame somebody like that in such a short amount of time. That's what I think is tough.
Are we at our bar?
I don't know. That's a good question. Does Krungar
Sure.
want to come back, or are you just appearing for a couple of days? For 3 days or 7 days? We can't find him.
Hey, John.
I would tell you over the stone that I will meet you back at the bar.
Okay. All right.
What?
Valentine's gonna drink.
So can I forge? So that woman, that fancy schmancy elf woman I met at the museum, I had her name written on my character sheet, which is currently not behaving.
Was it the ass kicker lady? No.
Did you click the level up button again?
I was wondering if I
Hold on,
could.
pause for a second. Did you click the level up button again?
I did.
Don't do that.
Well, for
I
it
fixed
finally open. Okay.
Is it
You need
very
to
high?
manually level. Do not click the level up button.
Okay. God damn it.
I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. I'm not mad at you. The point I'm trying to make is that I was wondering if I could potentially forge like an official, like a letter that has like some sort of official offer and sort of uh, assign it to her as far as like who it came from.
Now, you're talking about the lady who was Fancy Smancy, who you went to a dinner party with and never saw her handwriting, right?
Georgina, Lucina,
Georgina and
Vandalahara.
Betsy.
Yeah, you never saw their handwriting, is what I'm trying to point out, right?
Yeah, that's a problem.
Right.
That would be a very tall order.
Yeah, I mean, it would. I mean, I'm just, Mara was talking about a list of people to potentially pin it on, and I'm just throwing her name out there.
Okay.
That's what she gets for not calling me back.
Yeah.
That's a horrible mentality. Don't think
And
like
she
that.
was a cultist, so we found a cult. Just
I mean,
saying.
hey, this Kurnell, okay? Kurnell.
Kieranel's an asshole. Not
That's
me.
right. It's not Chad. It's not Chad. Come on.
No, not Kurnell. What was his disguise with that habit? That's the asshole.
Oh my gosh. So we all get back together
Oh.
at the Lake Street dive. Yeah, that's where we're gonna all meet. So we gotta talk about this, guys. We gotta figure this out.
Okay.
I'm on the one side, the side saying we should give Krungar time to read it. At least 3 days, preferably 7.
No, I mean, frankly, it would save the gang so much trouble if we just gave them the book.
Well, that's true. But let's
Okay.
see what Krungar wants to do.
So,
yeah, I understand you're trying to be fair to Krungar.
as you wait, Krungar never shows up.
Dun dun dun.
Dun dun dun. I'm not surprised. to be honest, he just disappeared. Oh man, what if he got nabbed by somebody else?
I would like for
or
everybody at the table
Adrian.
to make an insight roll.
That's not good at all.
Fuck.
Not good at all. Insight roll.
Fuck.
Come on,
Okay.
baby. Yes, 25. I'm rolling hot.
Your
on
hand
my
has been
insight.
forced, Kevin. You do not have a choice anymore. Copper, you're coming to the same realization.
Right.
If you
Motherfucker.
stay, the only purpose you have for the scarves anymore is to be tortured until they get the information out of you as to how to find Krungar. Because Krungar has the book. They also stated they could extract the power from him. So even if the magic was taken from the book and put into someone else, they could pull it from him and return it to the book. So what you would know is there is no choice. After the hour, kind of when you expected to meet, you would know that your new mission in life is to find Krungar. And since none of us know where that is, and he's got an hour head start, Krungar, you stated what you stated in the side chat, and I'm holding you to it. Where would Krungar go?
West.
Okay.
Out of the city, even though I know that's gonna take a bit.
No, yeah,
foot.
absolutely fine. There are a few ways to get out of Penford, as we've discussed. You can head north and kind of make your way up to the White Cliffs and then kind of move into the forests of Malakoshi to the west. That is an option. You kind of are familiar with that route. I could probably pull it off. You won't be able to do it as easily because you can't access the boats because they're scarves. You don't know if they're looking for you or not, but better safe than sorry, I always say. Then you could head out the main gates. You know that you have to present your IDs leaving and entering the gates, so there will be a record of your presence. You don't have the capability of forging that. So you would know you'd kind of have to, they would know you left at least. And last but not least, you could try and make your way through the Bandit Bridge. And that is a tall order as well. That would definitely be something that could be lethal or expensive. And if you're traveling with a magical item that you know you want to keep, they have individuals present in the Bandit Bridge. Some are known as oglers, and then others are part of a group called the Idealists. They wear goggles that allow them to see magic auras at all times. So you would know that there are some bandits who specialize in taking the magical trinket specifically. Sorry, I have an itch right on my back, so I keep on leaning forward.
Main
You should get that cat to scratch it for you.
main gate.
Main gate it is. Okay, so it would probably take you, since you're trolleying it, it would take you about an hour just to get out of the city. You can acquire provisions if you have currency to do so. So if you want to pick up anything that's in the player's handbook and you have the money, you can spend it on that. Things that you might need for the road. And that's right, folks. We did name the game Streets of Lavidia, even though for what appeared to be the foreseeable future, we were stuck in a city called Penford, which is totally different. This was done intentionally. The option to leave was always there.
So, at some point, Kierno would like to contact Krungar via the stones.
You would not realize he is gone until he has left. And the second he has left, he is no longer contactable.
Son of a bitch.
Too far away.
How could you? So what, we got to go on the run now?
Sorry, guys.
Well, I don't know about you guys, but I'm packing it up. I'm heading out of town. It's been nice knowing y'all.
Oh no, the
Yeah.
band is breaking up. Come on,
Yeah.
one more album. You owe the rest of these guys that much.
So,
Kierno's going to say the same thing, except really he's just going to like throw his clothes in the trash.
I will say, Popper, you're very aware and could explain it to Varric and Valentine that if they stay, they're not going to be able to just live the life that they were leading. Their life has been irrevocably changed. The Scarves are going to want to talk to them, especially since they were in that meeting with the boss. So, keep that in mind.
I think so. We're gonna have to leave. Is basically what we're saying.
You have to find Krungar.
We haven't found Krungar. So would I know where he would run? Like, had he talked about it? Like,
Do you currently?
do I currently?
In real life, like notes and all that
Mhm.
from what we've experienced, do you know where Krungar would go?
No,
Okay.
don't.
So then what we're going to do is we're going to have an above the table kind of conversation about it. Krungar is a very quiet and like specific individual. I think we can all agree with that. But Joe, ultimately your friendship or your character's friendship with Kevin's character is very much yours to kind of decide what has been said and what is like kind of left to the table. They haven't even read your cool note. They don't even know about that. They just know you're missing and kind of came to a conclusion. So
Krungar used to be a soldat for the Osirian Inquisition in Parnak. That's where he got all of his soldier training and all of his religious teachings.
So he might
That
go
that
back
much would
there,
be
right?
so
that much you would definitely know.
there are three options that could mean. All of them go in the same direction. Well, no. Two of them go in the same direction. West. One goes by boat. So either he went to the ports and tried to find passage out of here to the Shattered Coast and Parnak in general, or he went west and left out of the main gates or the bandit gates or the north gates, not sure, and was heading towards either Bridger, which is this big old bridge here, which is actually a city on a bridge, or farther beyond that, Ionis, which is where is it? It's not on the map. That's weird. We'll say it's here for now, but it's not that. It's probably a little bit more west, closer to that bridge. But yeah, those are the only two locations that have Soldat emplacements. And yeah,
Okay,
if you
right.
want to take a quick briefer and read Krungar's story, it's right there on his bio info on his character sheet.
Krungar. You know what? When I was using it last week, I changed everything.
Fair.
Wouldn't that be a pisser? But I didn't.
Well, how old are you, Kevin?
How old am I? I'm way too
43.
old for how young my brain
I think
is.
he's like 43.
Yeah. Oh, there you go.
Yeah, he
exactly.
definitely
I'm
he definitely lost like a
43.
decade or so when he shaved that beard.
Oh yeah, that helped.
Got the
But
young
my
boyish
body
charm.
feels bad. That.
My
Getting
body
old.
feels like shit, but I guess I look
Yeah.
handsome.
I hurt my
My
back
face looks good.
from
My back
standing up.
My back is itching. We have similar problems.
Yeah,
We're the same
you're
age, basically.
yeah, you're right behind me, John. I'll tell you. I'll send you all the little notes of what's going to happen when. Okay. Anyways, so I'm trying to read here. Gosh. No, actually, you're as old as you think you are. So if you feel like you just got out of high school or whatever, or you're in college, that's kind of the age you are.
He's still
I
focus
still,
on-
I still, I
Okay.
still got to focus on that, guys.
Focusing back on the game for a bit, though. So there are
I'm
two
trying to
options
read
that are
this
west that could be
Yeah.
military connected, and then there is the path to the east, which would lead out on the ports. So knowing that, Moro, again, keeping in mind,
Yeah.
Krungar has an hour head start. Out of character, we know where he is. In character,
Right.
we do not. What would Moro want to do with the knowledge that he has at his availability?
I think we should search for him for sure, and try to get the book back.
Okay.
Because otherwise, we're not going to be able to.
Two
operate
locations
in
you
our-
need to check right off the bat.
Yep.
The port and the dockmaster needs to be addressed so that you can see if a ship took on Krungar, because you know it's very similar to leaving at the gate. They would have to leave notice. And then the gates would be the other place to check.
So I would say, can we split up and do this, everybody? Or, what are your thoughts? Because we're not going to be able to operate as a gang until this is resolved. So we could go as a group, all at the same place, or we could split up and try to, get to them quicker.
Well,
I'll
I'll go
volunteer.
to the gates.
Okay, I'll volunteer to go to the ship then, and then if the rest of you want to join
Okay.
us in some way or another, that's fine.
Because of the divide, it's going to take you an hour and a half to 2 hours to be able to not only just learn that the gate has record of Krungar, but also to regroup at the gate to be prepared to leave out of the gate as a team.
Right.
And I
have a
want to
question.
confirm. Go ahead, Jonah.
Could I just jack another auto carriage?
We've already
and then-
discussed that the jackability of auto carriages is very low.
Yeah. So jack off, man.
Yeah, just
I'm
jack,
trying to jack
right
off.
off. No, you're trying to jack on, okay? You're trying to jack onto an auto carriage and drive it out of here.
Yeah, that's the goal. Just to get the fuck out of the city. That's it.
Hey, that's
You don't
my
have
job
to.
in Cyberpunk. I'm the net runner here.
Hacks! The Scions. Also hacks! Oh my god, we're like brothers.
Yeah, the get the fuck out of the city part. I got you covered there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Here now, you
That's
are
what we're trying
on
to
board,
do.
because there was a mention that you were going to dip away and just fucking say fuck it. But you are on board, because again, you know that even if you were to do that, there would still always be the lingering threat of Hadrian finding out who you are. And
Yeah, I would
killing
have
you.
to skip town sooner or later. I might as well do it now.
Yeah. We need to handle this problem ASAP. Either we're...
Leave all those poor homeless people hanging mid scam.
Yeah. Oh my god. I thought if I just put the holy water onto the coins and then gave them to Kernel, it'd be fine, and I would get 10 times as much. It's a real thing that happens in real life. People are fucking horrible, man.
True that.
But you know what? Get that bag, son! Get those dollars off of old people.
He's running a crypto scam over here.
Yeah, right. Whatever you gotta do, man. Fuck people. Fuck other people. I just need money. Please like and subscribe, and also support us on Patreon. I've got some books for sale on DM's Guild. Oh my god, that felt really gross. Like I almost threw up in my mouth. Ah. Okay, focused up. 2 hours. Krungar, you are just taking the road. Now, I want to make sure you understand. You said you're going to focus on a soldat option. If that's real, or you're just saying that kind of as a bit there, that's fine too. But if you are really heading to Bridger or Ionis to see if there's any way for you to ingratiate yourself into soldat, you are traveling by road on foot.
Yeah.
which
Oh,
means
no.
you are
Yeah, not the
under
best
the
odds.
penalties of random encounters. And I would like for you, as you take that first
Oh,
2 hours
no.
on the road, to roll a natural 20 on a
Is
d20 so I can murder you randomly.
Don't
is he
hit guys.
still in disguise?
I don't think he's cleaned it off, so Grengar.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, still a disguise.
Your first few hours
God
of travel
damn it.
are completely and absolutely undaunted. There are still people traveling on the road, despite the later in the day kind of timing. Most of them seem like they're kind of headed in the same direction, and you don't really stick with them because they're obviously kind of keeping their distance, but it doesn't seem like they are so put off by your presence on the road. Like, it's almost as if they're okay with being close to you, this group of individuals, because you just came out of the town or out of the same city as them and you're traveling alone. Like, maybe they think they're protecting you more than you're protecting them, kind of deal. Make sense?
What do they look like? Just normal merchants, travelers?
I would say
Any of
that
them
it's
armed?
an entourage of about 12 individuals with a single kind of guy who looks like a mage of some sort. They are traveling. He is on what appears to be some sort of floating palanquin, which has no pushers or pullers or anything. It's just kind of floating along on its own. The 12 individuals with him are decently armored individuals. They kind of look like a bodyguard, like a hired bodyguard, almost as if, like, you know, just a bunch of dudes with swords are getting paid money to protect this one guy.
Oh man. Yeah, I would call over to him. Hail.
They kind of ignore you on the road, and it's at that point you see that the leader of the group kind of like is kind of barking orders and expressing kind of like something to the bodyguard, and the bodyguard are kind of looking at you, and you'd see one of them kind of look at you and go, "Sorry." The working class people look like they want to hang out, but they're on the clock.
I would call out. Do you need an extra blade for your travels?
No thanks. And then as he says that, the magely type, a guy kind of turns around and goes, "Excuse me?" Kind of starts walking towards you. The individual who starts walking towards you is a half-orc. It looks like he has kind of pale skin that has kind of like a tinge of green to it. He is holding a very long greatsword that looks like it's more it's thinner than most greatswords you kind of, have handled yourself, but it's definitely longer than them too. And he has that kind of on his back in an intricate kind of scabbard that looks like he could kind of reach clear it out of the side to attack with it quickly. But yeah, he kind of takes the lead and walks towards you.
As he's approaching, I would put not like throw my hands up over my head, but like hold them out forward so you can see I'm not going to reach for a weapon or anything.
You looking
And I
for
would
work?
say, "Hail, brother. I am
Okay.
traveling west, and the roads are much safer with company rather than being on my own. I don't require any pay. I'm very handy with a blade. Just
Sorry,
looking to travel
Shalazard.
with you."
He turns and like looks at the mage and says, "Sorry, Shalazard. This guy's a part of my crew. He was just a little late." "That's not what you were talking about at all. I overheard you." He's like, "Yeah, that's great. But he's late on our crew. His name's he kind of gestures back over his shoulder. You kind of hear him say that.
Yeah, what are you gonna say?
Garnook.
Garnook.
Yeah, Garnook's with
Garnook.
us.
Yeah. Yes. Amazing.
And then the wizard, who's very annoyed. Yeah, fine, let's go. continues on, and you kind of just move into the fold. You can see that they're using Soldat-esque formation walking, but you're starting to realize that it seems like it's more in line with what you kind of know or have heard about being like standard marching formation for the Parnak military, specifically of the nation state or kingdom of Sorrowgate, the westernmost.
Awesome.
And you walk on the road.
Awesome. That's convenient.
It's helpful.
Almost like Atavius has put this path before me for a reason.
Chaos has turned to law once again. The straightest arrow fires this way.
This way.
Right, he's not eloquent. He's just, a zealot.
Oh yeah.
The class name. The half-orc, when he gets a chance, would tell you that his name is somewhere in my notes. Hold on. I should have been looking for this while everything else was going on. No. Wait, your name's Krungar too? What?
Yeah.
What? And their heads just both explode. He tells you his name. For now, I don't have it, but yeah, he tells you what it is, and he welcomes you to the company, which he says is something company. It's a mercenary company name.
Like checkered scarves or something.
It's not checkered scarves. That's a thieves guild. This is a mercenary.
Wouldn't that be
company.
bad? Wouldn't that be bad?
He's just like copyright infringement name, copyright infringement group name.
Right.
I'll have those names here for you in a second. In the meantime,
the plain bandanas.
In the meantime, you folks get word that, or kind of get an understanding that Krungar has left and has basically got a 3-hour lead on you. Once you kind of gather in the western side of the city, do you wish to follow him tonight? And I say tonight because it is turned to evening time, or do you wish to remain?
Well, I vote for remaining till tomorrow.
Hell no.
Copper
We
is
are no
ready to
longer
go.
listening to Morrow. We are going.
Moro is
You're
the leader
leaving.
inside of the city. We are abandoning.
Yes.
And
You said that guy's gonna make us indentured servants or whatever. I don't want to.
his name is Varric the Half-Orc. Varric, I'm Varric the Half-Orc. We each have our own little quirk. I'm the Half-Orc. You probably heard of the dancer, the gambler, and the noble.
You know,
The
it's
noble.
it was all a part of my plan from the beginning.
Strangely, we're related. I'm half-orc, half-dragonborn.
Oh boy. Oh boy. All right.
So, Kiernell actually took the time to build a character who has like multiple identities. And they're all great, but the more memorable ones are the ones where it's just Varric.
It was Varric the Noble, Varric the
Who was
Bard,
put a
Varric
title
the
name
Gambler.
after his stupid name. Oh my god, that is a glory. That is an absolute gain
I mean, it's
inspiration.
not.
Hey, it helps because Kieran can just does exactly what he wants to do. Makes the identity disappears. Varric just like, hey, I'm Varric.
No, it's not.
I'm Varric.
I just want to make sure you understand. Varric it's not working, but
I know,
the
no.
meme is alive.
That's the
it's
one everyone
working.
remembers though. He said his name was Varric the Noble. What the?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Who's
it's
that
not
other guy
working.
with it? I don't
it's not
Oh,
working,
good.
but there are also no consequences.
Hold on.
So,
Sorry, you posted there in the thing a very funny request. I'm gonna go ahead and give it to you real quick. Hold on, here we go. Bear with me here. I got this. I can do it. I can do the fan art so quick. Check this out. Check this out.
Fan art.
Gwen.
Okay, so there's Varric the Noble. Okay, I'm gonna change it real quick. This is Varric the Gambler. This one here, and then this one's Varric the Dancer right here. This one, and Varric the Half-Orc. Oh, that's this one right here. This one's good.
Oh yeah.
That's it.
Oh, I see it.
That
There's
was
a lot of people named Varric. Told you there's Variks everywhere.
I'm just really quick with that fan art. These are all very distinct. I wish I could draw over
They're all
the
very
hand-
handsome.
I wish I could draw over the handout art, so I could have put like a mustache, like a little like
Oh yeah.
twirly mustache on the noble.
I did have a monocle.
The monocle and the mustache. The gambler would have like a top hat, I think. Would probably be good. A cigar, sure.
They're all very, very beautiful dragons.
Very, very wonderful. Okay. So, Copper's on board for leaving right now after Krungar. Who... And Moro's not. And there was a joke that Moro's been mutinied.
Abandoned.
Barrick, are we leaving right now, or are we going to wait?
I'm sorry. I wanna, one way or the other. I'm either finding out where Krungar is, or I'm getting on out of here. So I would like to leave.
Here now.
I mean, if we're leaving, I might as well stick with them. If somebody wants to stay, I'm not staying.
Well, it looks like a
I'm
majority wants
going.
to leave.
It's
So
nice
I'll
that I
leave
have
with you guys.
company.
Yeah, I mean, I would have liked to have stayed. There was definitely more scams I had in mind, but if we got to, if we got to be moving on, we got to be moving on.
Moro was like, I'm just playing. What I'm really sad about is that Krungar's gone, and I can't get uppies. And how am I going to walk on the road if someone's not carrying me out in front of them like a toddler? Sorry, you're halfling.
Yep. I get it.
Sure. Okay, focusing back up. Sorry, I apologize for my descent into madness. It's the chaos of Atavius that's been happening here. Krungar, after you pass over the bridge out of the Makoshi Plains and onto the western side of the river set, there's a twin set of rivers that flow through here and connect in between. I believe collectively they are known as the Twin Thunders. They stop on the other side and move to an alcove where they set themselves up very quickly for a camp. And Fromage, who's the half orc, and yes, I am aware it is a food item, says, I welcome you to the group. I welcome you to the Grey Ducklings mercenary company.
Sorry.
No worries.
It's my honor to travel with you. Thank you.
No problem. It's our intent to, during the course of the next day, travel the majority of the time. It's so much easier to get out of the city of Penford at night, or the evening time. Not a lot of folks are leaving. During the morning hours, it's a chore. It can take upwards of 3 or 4 hours just to leave the gates. So, where are you headed? We're ultimately going to end up in the kingdom of Balthanir, far to the west.
I was on my way back to Parnak.
Kind of going the wrong way about it. Heading west when you should be heading east by boat. Are you trying to link up with some Parnak individuals you are aware of? Perhaps an anvil vote that might teleport you there or something?
I have friends and family. That's where I'm from. That's where I was born and raised.
Well,
Needed to get out of this city. It's not for everybody, this city.
And you can't afford the trip by boat. Understandable. Well, I can't promise to pay you much of anything. If we do get into any scuffles, I will definitely reward you based the same way that I do everyone else in our company. But if you are heading to Parnak and that is your end goal, I could get you in touch with some of the members of the Soldat and Bridger. Or I think I know someone who might be capable of getting you a dialogue with the conglomerate mages in Anvil Boat.
The first option sounds.
Sure. So you're not terribly familiar with much outside of the city of Penford. Based on the discussion we had regarding your backstory, you arrived here by boat effectively, and then just kind of got to business, right? We agree?
Yeah.
So, to the west, you are aware of a city that's built on a bridge that's called Bridger. This would be a very hard one for anyone to forget. Anvilvote is a name that keeps coming up and that you're not familiar with. If you'd like, you can make a history check to try and remember anything about that place, but nobody in your group would have talked about it. There aren't very many bookish dorks here.
That's the nicest thing he's ever said.
It's true.
I mean, I think Krungar with an intelligence of 10 is like vying for the most intelligent member of the party, right? Like, he's up there.
I got 12.
I got a 14.
I have 14.
Eh.
Burke and
I got a
smart
2
ones.
on my history.
Oh no.
Anvilvote is a name, which you would be able to discern seems to have dwarvish connotations. But that's it.
It is a place of all time.
Not
Out of
while
all the
drinking.
places, it's one of them.
Do you ask your new friend Fromage about that?
No, I like the Bridger idea. Bridgerton idea.
And yeah, so he says he can definitely get you in contact with some people he knows that are members of the Soldat. And you would be able to insight too that he said that specifically, like, because he was telling you that was the case. Like how you recognize their marching formation and how they kind of moved on the road. He was able to discern that you have Soldat, like, kind of connections. Make sense?
Yeah, I would have felt right in.
Yeah. So, you get to rest. You can go ahead and roll me 3d20. And then if everyone is going to be traveling at night and you're traveling after him, the group will head out, and I'll go ahead and put Moro might have been usurped, but we're still going to use his token just for purposes.
Yeah, it's not like it was a dictatorship, so.
It's just like it was a dictatorship.
It's not like it was.
So, pick a representative for your group. You can definitely pick Moro again, so you can blame him for something. But I need someone to roll 20-sided dice.
We can blame him for something. I think Sebastian should roll it. He was on the other winning side.
Is it really a winning side?
No, I think staying
Playing
with
our
him.
lives.
Keep in mind, you
I'm
want
not doing
low
it.
rolls for random
I'm
encounters.
going back to the
so-
mountains.
Oof.
18,
18.
no random encounters.
Oh, hi. Uh-oh.
Roll a d100.
If you get a 1, we all die instantly.
14.
Nope.
That's not too far from correct.
A 1 is like a.
What happens when we roll a 1 on a random encounter with d100, Chad?
Chad's character gets summoned.
Huh? Oh, yeah, Chad's other character gets summoned. That's correct.
Oh,
To murder us all.
as
Calder
That's
the
what-
many soul.
The Soul Reaper.
So many damn souls. Okay. Let's see.
Surprise to you, man.
It's so many damn souls. Oh, I see what I want. Hold on. My thing is not letting me access the thing that I want to access, and I'm gonna cry just a bit. There we go. La la la. And you said you rolled a 14?
14. Yeah.
Oh, not bad. Interesting. So as you walk and are making your way towards the bridge is kind of a natural outcropping that's kind of stone structured. It looks like the dwarfs literally just shaped the hills to connect at this umbilical point. You make your way up to it, and you can see that just near the road, there looks like there is a corpse of what appears to be a humanoid figure, but from just off the road, you cannot tell for certain who or what it is. I would say that the group as a whole kind of sees it. It's more like one of those kind of everyone kind of spots it at the same time situation. So if you would like to engage it in any way, you may certainly just speak first and forever hold your peace.
I say we pass it.
Yeah, Valentine's gonna pass him.
Pass.
Pass.
Copper.
Guess I'm gonna pass.
Kieranel, last but not least.
He's gonna recruit it.
Over to it. Like,
Could you describe it again?
So from the side of the road, without engaging it, it looks like an indescript corpse-like figure on the side of the road. That could be a man, woman, or child. You can't tell from as far as you are. Off the side of the road, near where the bridge begins.
It's just a corpse on the side of the road? Nah.
Not
my problem.
These are not terribly common, mind you.
I don't care.
Okay.
We're on a mission.
Fair enough.
I am not calling the shots.
And I want to make sure that, Krungar, you are aware there was no corpse on the road for you. So I just want to make sure that that's clear.
Oh, interesting.
Okay.
So there was
That could be Krungar there.
That could be Krungar there.
His encounter.
He
roll.
did leave
Oh,
alone.
you're right. Hold on. Let me summon my familiar and send
Everybody,
it.
that would have been funny as hell though. Like if you roll a natural 20 on your random encounter, Joe, and then like you rolled a 1, and then I just murdered you with Kelder, and then like you died, and they just walk past your corpse, and eternally for the rest of the, they just keep hunting for Krungar.
Damn,
he's just back there.
Let's do like 15 more sessions of this.
I as a DM, what you guys would be like, but we know he's dead already. Joe built a new character. He's with us. We already know. And I'm like, no, your characters don't know. Stop character crossing. You don't. You can't. You doesn't have that knowledge. The game would be changed to
Krungar.
The quest for Krungar. I love it.
That would be
back to life.
That would bring
I would watch
to
that every
West
Saturday.
Marches.
Do we check the corpse?
No. I mean, everybody voted to pass it up. I mean, you know.
I want to check it so bad.
All right, well, it's too late. Actually, you can roll an intelligence check to see if you have the insight of what if it's Krungar.
Ooh, he's intelligent too.
I picked everybody's best stat.
Am I rolling for?
Just an intelligence check. Yeah, you have the thought as you're about to pass by it and start getting towards the bridge that what if it's Krungar?
Just to check, I'm going to cast Find Familiar.
Okay.
I'm going to send an owl. And I'm going to send the owl back to the corpse.
Okay. When the owl lands on the corpse, or lands near to the corpse, what will be very clear is that whatever it was, man, woman, or child, has been torn to pieces so violently that it has a basic human shape, but is nothing more than tattered clothing and the remnants of a body. Like, imagine a steak that's very hard to chew through, and you chew on that bite for a while. If you've ever accidentally taken that out of your mouth and looked at it, that's basically what everything here looks like.
Gross.
Delicious. I said it looks like a steak. Keep up. I really want you guys to pay attention to the story I'm trying to craft here.
It's like a ribeye.
So, it looks completely and absolutely decimated by violence. Violence of a predatory kind. Like teeth and claws were utilized in tearing this person apart. From this vantage point, that's really all that you can glean. You aren't able to pick up or move the corpse or investigate the area further in a more detailed manner, like moving and pulling the grass aside. owls are not capable of this process. But nothing stands out that would be optically visible from an owl's perception. If there is something there, it's under something else.
Who? That's what it says. Who?
They're a fan of older music.
Tell my old owl to come back. Let's keep moving. Just
All right.
He just starts
Oh.
shuffling them along faster.
I will say, though, it is definitely not a dragonborn. That is definitely like an elf, dwarf, human halfling, maybe. Like,
God, we're just gonna say a little prayer for him under his breath and just keep.
like they either didn't eat anything or they ate a lot. Kind of that makes up the difference between a halfling and a human. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Okay, you continue on. Krungar, you are camped. You folks get across and are now pushing into what would be considered like an exhausting position. So I'd need you to go ahead and roll con saving throws to see how well you're doing in this kind of forced march first leg. DC's 10.
Us or Krungar?
You guys, yeah. Krungar's
Oh,
sleeping.
yeah.
And
Oh,
they're
Jesus.
taking watches. Krungar, do you volunteer for a watch?
Yeah.
Which one would you like? 1, 2, or 3?
First watch, because I'm a little paranoid.
Okay.
Should be.
You
So-
should be fucking.
Like I said, there's a crew here, right? And it looks like everybody who's kind of present, they are Jurnaran folk. The best way to kind of describe them is imagine like a crew of Russian dudes in tracksuits. Remove the tracksuits, put on leather armor. That's literally the crew, with the exception of Fromage.
I will break you.
I didn't say Ivan.
More
I didn't
armor
say they're
than
that
I
good.
wear.
What'd you say?
It's more armor than what I wear.
I am
Alright,
Ivan, and this is Ivan, and I am Ivan.
I would say that they are moving like a military. They're moving like, in formation. But from what you're gathering of them, they're like scouts or they're like light infantry at most, right?
Yeah.
They do have several individuals who have like long spears and like glaives and stuff. So you assume that they have tactics. Okay. So everybody passed their Constitution saving throw, it looks like. Even if... Oh, wait, hold on. Yep, everybody passed. So you're not tired. You definitely have like a spur of energy because it's like, find Krungar. We gotta find Krungar. You didn't have to roll twice. You did have to roll once because you didn't roll one before, I see here.
Oh no.
So you're exhausted, Copper. You have 1 level of exhaustion. So you should be able to take that and it'll automatically detract from your rolls as such.
Good night, Copper.
Then, after
Yeah.
that fact, you are looking around for Krungar and trying to find any sight of him. So you are moving now at a kind of slower pace as it's nightfall. You can also go ahead and make either a perception, investigation, or survival check. Your choice will determine what the results are.
So perception, investigation, or what was the one?
Investigation.
Survival, investigation, perception.
Oh, okay.
Which I kind of take to calling the tracking skills.
The
You're trying to
tracking.
find something or like...
Oh, good. I rolled a good again. I'm on fire.
Okay. So Moro, perception, and Sebastian, investigation. Okay, cool. You're investigating the area, Valentin. You notice that there does seem to be a kind of funnel point that leads to a choke near a grouping of rocks on the western coast of the bridge. Like if you exited the bridge and followed the road for a little bit and then kind of double back around some kind of rough terrain, you would come to this alcove area. If you had to guess, if someone smart and militarily apt were to find a place to serve as like a bottleneck, that'd be the spot.
All right.
Moro, with your perception check, you can see that there are probably somewhere around, like 20 or so lights in the waterway, kind of beyond the bridge, like a riverboat or something to that effect, with like lights kind of strewn out from it. It's a distance off, and it looks like it's heading away from you. Your thought process on that is that boat will probably be going up the river and then back down the river. If you lose him and wanted to try and gain ground on him, it might be smart to take that boat to end up in... you can't remember the name of the town, but there's a backwater that way.
All right, well, I'll tell everybody that then. I'll be like, maybe we should try to take this boat. Of course, we wouldn't be able to take our car, would we? Because they don't have like.
We don't
They
have a car.
We had the car. We left the town.
Oh, we left it. All right, I thought we were with. I was thinking.
We don't want to be tracked.
Well, true.
Yeah,
Being
gotta
tracked
track
I
down the road.
wanted to steal a car.
That's
but
right. You were going to
there's
try
no
to.
cars. Just
The
That's not how
jack
this game
one.
works.
You were talking about jacking one.
no. I was talking about jacking off in one.
Yeah,
He's going to jack one right off.
he's a jack one. All right, sorry,
Manhandle
sorry,
that
people who
stuff,
are
babe.
watching.
This is what you signed up
All
for.
right.
I'm sorry, people watching.
I know. Yeah, sorry, people. Sorry, people watching at home.
We
Sorry,
do
Elizabeth.
stupid, like,
I'm
you
not
know,
sorry.
jokes, and then Tuesday vomits, and then Friday falls. I think they fall a lot. I killed Elizabeth's character a week ago.
Oh, how rude! It's by falling, huh?
That's evil.
Yeah, she fell 100 and something feet and died
Oh,
right near her brother.
oh. Sounds touching, though.
And then they got her back up at school. So
She got better.
She got better.
I'm not dead. Great reference.
She fell.
Well, I
on her feet. She
I got better.
Yeah.
So you have two options. You have, and again, I know out of character, we understand where he's located because it's very hard to deceive you in that way with a split group. So I want to make sure that you understand. You're role playing from your perspective. If we take the ferry boat or riverboat, we can possibly cut him off at the pass, kind of deal. Alternatively, you see a area where someone, if they were wanting to set up camp, would be able to do so quite well.
Right. So we could either set up camp here, as there's an option to try to take that ferry and head down. So whatever you guys want to do, I'm with you.
Just in case someone's listening, I'm gonna telepathically communicate with Varric and
Krongar?
Moro. No, because I have to see them.
I know, I'm doing a bit.
Okay. Varric and Moro, and then let me roll the d6.
Varric the Noble?
Yeah, which Varric? Which Varric are we talking about?
Yeah, which Varric?
The
Varric the
Noble.
Noble?
Varric the
The gambler?
I need you to roll a d4 to determine which Varric you're
Yeah.
talking to.
Oh shit, I just linked up a call with Varric the Noble.
Yeah.
I wonder what he sounds like. Is he gonna sound
No.
different? Nope. Varric's like, I don't do voices.
My word. What are you calling to me at this hour?
Might use bigger words.
I'm rich. I don't need an education.
There's a spot up here that he might be at. I'm gonna check it out. If you feel like the ferry route is better, I can meet you up there, but I'm gonna check up here first.
We got to put Copper to
You're-
bed. Let's start making camp.
You're doing this straight, like telepathically, like with telepathy, right? So I can't talk back to you like that.
You can't.
No, you can. You can.
Oh, okay. I
Bluetooth.
read telepathy before, and it said that.
Oh, it's not like telepathy as well. It's like it's just mind talk. He
I just
forms.
like
He
I
forms.
just like
He
this.
forms
Y'all
a.
just looking at each other, talking through your minds, and me and Cornell just sitting in the back looking at y'all like, what the fuck y'all doing?
Like, what?
Karen's like, I feel left out. And then does one of his own.
Yeah, he's just like mentally intrudes and says, "Sorry to butt in."
But it's like 2 separate phone calls happening at the same time.
Yeah.
Can I do like Dragon Ball? Just touch Kieran's shoulder and join the call too. What's up?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'll allow it.
I would totally come with you up there, Valentine. I agree.
He's
Yeah,
gonna start going.
That's fair. We could do that.
Okay. You make your
We
way
can
into
meet back
the
with you guys.
area. And since you said first watch, Krungar, go ahead and make a perception check.
Do I get to roll stealth?
No, you want to be perceived, right?
No.
If you are trying to sneak up the pass, you can make a stealth check.
Oh.
Again, you don't know who's over here, even though out of character we know who's over there.
Oh yeah, that's true. Okay, I don't know, so I just go up.
You could go stealthily, though.
I am checking because there may be things I would do, but I don't believe so. So I would just be. I mean, I feel like we would be kind of careful. It's late.
Okay. So, Krungar, you watch as one of your fellows who's also on watch. Again, they didn't leave you awake by yourself. There's 12 of them. Kind of looks over and says, "What the fuck? What are they doing?" And kind of looks up the pass. And Krungar, you can see that there's 2 shadowy figures kind of leading the stride. And there are more figures kind of coming up. In the darkness, at this distance, you're kind of just seeing silhouettes moving. You already made your perception check. So you do not recognize them as allies. These are definitely strangers that are moving with bravado towards you. The guy who spotted them and kind of pointed them out to you tells the other guy who's also on watch to start waking people up. And then while that's happening, that guy is setting up a bipod system, which is basically just a stick shoved in the ground with like a small kind of crook. You saw him walking with his stick earlier and didn't think of anything of it. He then pulls out a very large arbalist and sets it onto it and starts training his sight down the way. It looks like he has a perfect line on everything that's on the road.
What are we in Texas?
All right. I would keep my head low and try to like fall into like the shadows. I don't want to be front and center.
Okay.
Kind of falling back into the camp a little bit.
Yeah, again, not sure who's following because you might have a tail. That's right. Okay. You folks on the pass. Krungar, you watch as the camp enlivens and kind of gets up. They assume that you're readying an ambush, like lying in wait. So if someone tries to attack the gunner, that you'll be ready. You see the others kind of prepare themselves. Only one other individual sets up a gun, so there are 2 now down the way. And at this point, they are getting close enough that you can see that there are a total of 5 of them. And they look like they're traveling. One of them looks like they're tired, but they are too close for you not to catch the fact that there's a halfling, a Goliath, 2 dragonborns, and an elf. And that kind of matches the same kind of structure as your group. The guy with the big gun yells out to the company as they approach. He's far enough away that you can hear him, but you can only barely see him, and that's if you squint and like really look. You hear his voice, and he says, "Halt there! This area has been secured already by the Grey Ducklings Company. If you wish to find a place to rest, you can pay us, or you can go somewhere else. If you advance without replying, we will shoot."
We are just travelers. We are looking for a friend. He is an orc.
Half orc.
No, he's an orc.
Oh, he's an orc. Okay.
Yeah.
Whoop.
Yeah, half orcs are the rarity. As
Gotcha.
they should be.
His name is Krungar.
Especially the way they were before. But okay, sorry, my brain's done. Focus back up. Because early D&D was kind of a nightmare on Origins, folks. Anyways, sorry.
Yeah.
Back to it.
Copper's tired, but he's gonna send his little owl floating above us.
Ooh,
Take
Okay.
a scan.
Make a stealth check with your familiar if you have access to the card. If not, I'll pull an owl card.
Boy, owl card.
Don't pull your owl card. Come on, man.
Pull it out.
Don't pull the owl
Alucard. Ah, that's how they came up with that name. That's funny. Alucard. All players and box in and save. If you click on that token and then hold shift and double click it, it'll bring up the character sheet.
Oh,
And
boy.
then
Excuse
give me
me.
a stealth check with the Void. Okay, so you hear a shot ring out very clearly, and if you were having vision on the owl, that ceases immediately. The owl is blasted out of the sky.
Whoa. They shot your owl. Holy. They hate birds. An owl.
And I want to make sure that the sound, Krungar, you're aware, like, when it discharges, it's like a loud crack sound, and then a just concussion. It very much is musket-esque, I would say, is the best way to kind of describe it. But the crack has like a thunder to it. Like, these aren't just black powder weaponry. They are seemingly elementally charged.
Gobber was like looking through its eyes, so he just grabs his head like, ah!
Ah.
Why would you do it? Just play.
Booty!
You say you're just travelers. Stop trying to send eyes this way. Yells the voice. What's the ringing stops of it?
All right. All right. We don't mean any harm. We're just travelers. You look like you have a much bigger group than us. We're not a threat to you.
Krungar, you know it's Mora, by the way. But the voice
Yeah.
is definitely one you would recognize, having traveled with him.
Yeah.
Still
I'm
hiding.
Still kind of slowly. Yeah, just in the back, out of the firelight and everything.
Okay.
Watching as the rest of the gang musters.
You
I'm
would-
not gonna. Every part of me saying to just take off into the night and run, but if this comes to blows, I don't want to fucking abandon the homies.
Yeah. You would watch as the guy clears the breach for that weapon, and the other guy kind of like, is still prepared. But when the breach opens and whatever comes out, it looks like it is like a wad of just like blown up paper and a small little rock, which you would recognize as a thunderstone. And those kind of pop out, and he reloads it with a bullet, wad of paper, thunderstone.
All right. So Kiernail kind of reaches forward and taps Mara on the shoulder. He says, "Would you like me to handle this?"
Well, you could try. I'm not having much luck.
Okay. So I mean, so far, right. I mean, all we got to do is just tell them who we are, what we're doing. Right.
Right.
Okay.
Are you sure you can take this?
I mean,
I'm starting
I'm
to
not
wonder
sure.
now.
I'm not sure what's so difficult, but
Well, yeah, we sent an owl over there. Got
yeah, that probably wasn't a good idea. I mean, it's
Well,
there's no need to lie to these people.
there's no need to shoot owls either, but
Well, that
Okay, one at a time. And then Kierno kind of steps to the front and he says, hello. Sorry about that. My name is Bainar Gadari. How are you?
Before a response comes, during that conversation cycle, from Krungar's perspective, the loud shot rang out. Those who weren't asleep are up and kind of active, and the one that you notice is the most active is that fucking wizard. He is up, he resummons his palanquin, and he kind of like pulls a book out of nowhere into his hand and starts kind of like just spitting curses, and he's doing it in all different languages, which to you is like kind of impressive. But when it switched to a language and you hear the curse words, it's mostly like fucking ass, just very bland curse words that he just sang, but he's just cycling through a chain of different languages as he's doing it, and he looks like he's getting prepared. And then Fromage walks over to him and places his hand on his chest. We've got this handled. Don't worry about it. And he's like, "Ah! How dare you waken me with those loud guns? Ah! I hate those things. Cheating they are. Cheating." Then, we both and all hear Kiernail yell out into the night what he did. And then, Fromage
Bainar Gadari.
Yeah, I know, but you're still Kiernail though, right? Like, I won't refer to you as Kieran in character. Guy comes out and he says, "We are the Grey Duckling Company. We're currently in protective services. We cannot allow you to progress forward towards us. I apologize. Unless you are willing to pay a fee and grant over something that you feel would serve as compensation for you to act correctly while amongst us. Otherwise, go seek another camp out."
I'm so confused, and like I said, I apologize for whatever that was. I mean, you blew it away so quickly, I didn't even get a chance to see what it was. But as I was saying, my friends and I, we are on the road. We are traveling this late. We're searching for a friend of ours.
We heard what you said, and we have no information regarding this individual. And you see Fromage kind of look over his shoulder, Krungar, back at you, and then look back at you again. But Kieran, it's very subtle and it's also very dark, so you don't pick up on this.
I've got dark vision, if that helps.
60 feet isn't going to hack it. Not if there's 120. They got you at 200, 300 foot range. They shot like the bird.
Oh,
like there's a
fancy.
There's a solid gap between. Yeah, they're not letting you in close. not with the advantage big cannon.
Yeah, that's
is there like bushes and trees in the way in between us, or no?
No, it's basically
just open field.
The best way to describe it is, I'll do it with a description that's kind of Elden Ringian. You know when you go through the portcullis and start heading up the hill, and there's that kind of like expanse. There's like bushes up to it, and then there's like a nice like tight cleft that goes around the bend.
Yeah.
That, but downwards, and then like it seems like they're kind of bottlenecked into like the passage that it would lead to.
Gotcha.
Is it all right if we continue on then? If we find somewhere further down the road to
this road ends here. You can go back the way you came to wherever you'd like.
Oh, well, fine. That's unfortunate. Okay, if this road ends here, then why are they here? That's not
because
something
they're
I say out loud.
camping here.
They're camping.
Oh, okay.
How much can we pay you to join your your protection?
We will take 50 gold from you, and you may camp near us. We will not offer you any form of protection.
Then why are we paying you if you're not offering us protection? That kind of doesn't make sense.
The gunner yells out, "Look where we're at. Nothing's coming down here. We'll be fine. Only idiots."
I mean, do you want to do that, or do you want to just like fucking head on somewhere else?
Well, it's a quick way to like totally like money can solve a lot of problems.
Yeah, that's fine. And 50 gold is like nothing between all of us.
Between all of us, so how many of there are there? 5 of us? 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah, I can cough up 10 gold, no
10
problem.
gold. Let's just toss up 10 gold and then camp next to these guys.
As you're talking amongst yourselves,
we got to camp anyways.
And getting the gold ready, Fromage turns to Krungar, who he knows is Nurk, I believe, and says,
Nerdbark or something.
"These individuals, they are seeking you out specifically. Will that be a problem? Should I send them on their way?"
Hey, you want me to kill them?
Do you want me to kill them?
They're gangsters from Penford. They're good people, but it's imperative that they can't find me. Like, I don't want them anywhere near me if that's possible.
They're good people.
Yeah, he still loves us.
It's adorable.
Krungar,
him.
at the beginning of this, you kind of said you were shifting away and moving quietly. Go ahead and make a stealth check, and everybody on the opposing team make a perception check.
Oh man, somebody's gonna roll it on our side. Sure.
Oh.
No, everybody's got such good eyes.
God dang it.
So, I would say that it very much becomes apparent to you as a group that when Krungar is kind of talking to this guy, you see the guy's kind of turning his direction away from you, and you kind of zoom in, like kind of focus up on what he's looking at. And with their campfire and everything that's going, the backlighting of it, whoever he's talking to is an orc individual who has the same pauldron as Krungar. Like, the disguise really was just phase talk. There wasn't really a discussion of like clothing, so I'm assuming you're wearing your same gear. You're pretty
Yeah.
sure that's Krungar. Now, that said, you're kind of talking amongst each other and go, yeah, we're going to give 50 gold. Krungar's over there. We're going to go ahead and get... And then the voice of Fromage comes out again. Sorry, I apologize. I was just informed that you folks are gangsters from Penford. We don't want to deal with thieves like you. Go ahead and find your own camp.
I'm sorry, are we gangsters or thieves? Because I believe there's a very, big distinction between the two.
Oh no.
Hey, I'm a
Oh
bard.
no, let's not talk
I
about
just play
that.
some songs.
You then hear his voice yell out, but seemingly talking to the person near him. Billuck, that one talks again. Blow his head off.
He was talking to Copper, or which one was he talking to?
He says Billuck, who's a name that
Yeah.
you don't know, and probably one of the
right.
guys with the big ass guns.
Right.
Next time
But
that
who did
one
he
talks, blow his head off.
Who was the last one to talk?
Kernell.
Oh, okay, Cornell. Come on. Sound.
Be on your way. Same offer stands for each of you. And Fromage turns and looks at you, Krungar, nods his head, and walks into the camp.
Fuck, he's there.
You can see him. Yeah, like there's no.
Can I just? I say, Krungar, I think we see you. Just let me talk with you. Just let me talk with you. The rest of these guys can stay behind.
As he starts speaking, Kiernail just takes a big step back.
Oh, because my head's gonna get blown off. It's gonna go over my head and hit.
Krungar, what's your response?
I would tell Fromage immediately that I will speak with him.
You see Fromage kind of look over his shoulder, and you can see that the guy he addresses, Billock, was literally like, normally you keep your finger outside of the trigger guard before you're going to, because you don't accidentally squeeze it. When Moro started talking, he literally curled the finger in, was ready to just absolutely detonate that halfling, and then he kind of pops his finger out as Fromage says, "Yeah,
he was standing his ground.
That's fine."
Right?
No.
I said he was standing his ground.
No, this isn't Florida. Keep going.
So, Krungar, do you go out to them, or do you wait for kind of gesture for Moro to come to you?
I would gesture for him to come to us, and I would also start heading out to meet halfway.
Okay.
Okay.
So about 100 feet outside of the camp, you take position.
Keep it down, guys.
And it's just Moro and Krungar.
Right. And I would say, Krungar, I'm so sorry that we came here, but Hadrian knows that we have the book, and he's not going to let things stand with the rest of us until we get it back. Now, I understand how much you want it, but you realize you're basically kicking everybody here out, Parnak if you do that. So, I mean, I'm not going to force you to do anything. You've been a friend. Yeah, that's right. I'm not going to force you to do anything. I'm your friend. I don't want to force you or anything. I'm just telling you the way it is. So what's it going to be? Are you going to give us the book and come back, or are you going to keep going and I'll just leave and I'll find a new place? I mean, that's as simple as that. I can do good in any city, I'm sure, if I could get there.
I know that I have put you all in danger. I left a note at the mansion. I was hoping you'd find it. I was hoping that you could just tell them that I took the book and ran, because that's exactly what I'm doing now.
Yeah,
This is bigger than Penford. This is bigger than the realm. This book, it can't fall into the hands of someone like Hadrian, or worse, whoever might be employing him. I am going to find help, see what should be done to keep this safe. This kind of power is not meant for the hands of mortals.
I agree. I agree with what you're saying. Would you allow me to come with you? I'll just let you do whatever I'll just help you do whatever you need to do.
You'd be willing to do that? You realize they will try to hunt me down and hunt us down.
Well, I think unfortunately they're hunting all of us now. Should I give the rest of the group that option? I don't know how many would go with you. Obviously, they want that book back because they wanted, they don't want to be, basically what they threatened us with was we'd have to become checkered scarves. which none of us want to do because then we don't have the freedom to do what we do now. So,
Yeah, I was truly hoping that it would be as simple as penning it on me and sending them my way instead of them getting you involved like that. But if it's too late for that, then I guess you really don't have a better choice than to come with me.
yeah, I don't. I think I don't know if the rest of the group would go. They might go do their own thing, but I would definitely come with you. Do you mind if I go back and tell them and then come back here? I can pay my way to camp here tonight, and then maybe after that they'll let me stay for free. I don't have that much money with me, but
It won't be a problem. Their leader from Maj, he's a good man.
okay, great. I'm gonna go back and talk to the group and see what they want to do, and then we'll be leaving you alone one way or the other. I don't think these guys want to attack your party. You look pretty strong, so I don't think that's gonna happen. So I'll be right back. So then I'd walk back to everybody and say, all right, this is the way it is. He's not giving up the book. So I'm going to go with him and try to help him deliver it because I don't have anything to go back to with the way things are. So you guys can make your own choice. You can fight these guys, which I'm not going to help with, obviously, where you could, join us, or you could go back, do whatever you want. I don't know. That's what I'm going with them. So what will it be? I'll let you guys talk about it for a little bit.
Where is he going?
I didn't ask him exactly where he was going. I just told him I would help him.
Moro, I sleep in a tent on the outskirts of town, and I swindle people out of their pocket change. I have nothing to go back to regardless, and I'm not dealing with Hadrian, so you got me, you know?
That was a hard bargain.
It's a hard bargain. You're right. It's kind of crappy no matter what you do. So, I get it.
I've lived in a shack.
Yeah. I mean, I can't imagine Cornell going with us, but we'll see. So that means I probably have Sebastian too, if I got there.
Derek and some Valentina
They're
are
like
usually a package deal, but
yeah.
I think the clock is spinning in that boy's head. I
Yeah.
can see his eyes doing.
I can see it too. I'm
thinkings.
what's he gonna do? What are you gonna say?
He's got the
He's
licking
got this
the
dude-
lips.
Yeah, you're like, I don't.
The two Dragonborns have already agreed. They look at him like,
You're like, I don't think Kurnell would agree to this, and he's already in the background, like looking in a mirror, like practicing a new face. Like,
So I turn to Valentine.
it's like, how do I look more like a soldier? Oh, that doesn't work.
You think if I maybe
you're like,
pop up
Kurnell,
the
what do you
jaw?
The
think?
scars,
And he's
maybe?
like,
No.
No, I
Kurnell's
turn-
dead, baby. Kurnell's dead.
Oh, we're gonna
turn
change
over
your
to
name.
Kurnell.
Valentine. No.
All right, we love that. That's awesome. So Valentine,
On the one hand, I could try to sneakily steal the book and give it back. On the other, I could just go with the group and then survive.
let's pause for a second.
Yeah.
Hold on, pause for a second. Valentine, when the
Mhm.
question of the book came up, what was your specific character's statement as to what should be done with the book?
Yeah.
Honestly, he just wants to get rid of the fucking book.
You want to
because
get rid
this
of the fucking book?
problem all derived from that fucking book. We had a good get going, and then it all fucked up when we took on the mission with the book.
Moro just
Now
told
the gig
you.
is gone.
Moro just told you that Krungar wants to put the book somewhere safe, which is a lot better than selling it to Hadrian.
Sure.
It's a lot better than letting the Markov try and steal it again,
Also true.
summoning whatever the fuck he was trying to summon.
But on the other hand, if we burn the book, then no one gets anything.
I mean, with
But
that
then-
being said, Kurnell would like to take a look at the book.
No one gets anything. And then everyone's angry.
What do you
That's
think's
the
gonna
best.
happen? You think Hadrian's gonna be like, "Oh, you burned the book? Oh yeah, that's fine. You just ran out of town. The book got destroyed.
We're-
You're
It's like,
fine.
so
We're
He's
done
not
in
totally
that
not gonna
town
cut your damn
regardless.
head off right there on the spot."
That's true. That's true.
We need to have a level up montage so we can go back and kick his ass. but that's gonna take a lot of level.
I don't
I'm
think that's
level
gonna
20
happen.
now.
Then we can go.
I'm an archdruid.
Yeah. So yeah.
I think Sebastian is gonna go with Varric. He's gonna follow what he does.
Okay. Follow his lead in the stance this time.
Yeah.
Okay.
So what do you say, Copper?
Copper said, "Yeah." It was. He said, "Yeah." So
He's like, Varric said, "I live in a tent." He's like, "Yeah, we kind of live in the shack."
we're neighbors.
Neighbor. And then Colonel was going to come too, though, right? Did he say he would come along?
Yeah, Kieran said he's got to make a new face.
Yeah.
He said, "I'm not using the name Kieran anymore."
All right. So then I would go back alone. I say, let me go back alone so they don't get all worried. And I walk back to him and I say, you are not going to believe this, Grungar. The whole group wants to help. We have nothing else to do. So I'm sorry this worked like this because this is kind of crazy. But you know, we'll see it through. Let's go. Let's go.
I'm the one who owes you an apology. We've been working so hard with everything we have in Penford and have kind of fucked it all up. I promise you it's for a good reason.
It wasn't you that fucked it up. It was that book. But you just realized what it was and what it could do, and so you know, I'm just glad the whole group came together. I guess we're a lot stronger together than we all are all apart. And then I hug Krungar. No, I give him like a predator handshake because you know it's a manly.
Yeah. Nice that the group came together. It's not like one.
Wait, I got a question. Is Krungar standing up during y'all's conversation? Or he's down on his knees, so he's down.
So he can look face to face.
Hold on.
We're not. Wait a minute here. We're not Sebastian and Varric, man.
I'm not hugging him around the waist.
He's holding him up.
It's toddler.
You don't understand, Krungar.
So,
oh my gosh, that's hilarious.
I'm gonna pause for a second because we got about 8 or so minutes. So I do have a narrative beat I kind of want to get to. Just bear with me here. Krungar, you go back. You tell Fromage. Fromage is cool with it. Get the 50 gold off of them though, still, because
I would pay for it out of my own pocket.
Mercenary company. You give them 50 gold. You come in. You meet the group. I will be discussing the 12. The Grey Duckling Company, as mentioned. And then I will also basically explaining to you that the wizards never introduces themselves. And also the group says we can't talk about it regarding the mage. You sleep.
They can't what? I'm sorry.
The mercenary company can't tell you anything about their charge. They can't tell you anything about the wizard they're transporting.
Yeah, I haven't asked any questions yet. I don't plan on.
Yeah, I know. I just mean for the others.
I just
through the
want to
night.
be.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah. So you would travel together. We're going to go ahead and select Krungar as the selected token for this. And you'd be traveling throughout the remainder of the next day.
Okay, well, there's something I'd like to do during the course of the evening.
Go ahead.
So basically, while everybody's asleep, I'm trancing. Now, can I, if I trance and I still have access to my senses, I can basically,
actions.
but can I look through my? Can I basically be looking through my familiar senses while I'm trancing?
No, because it takes an action to enter into your familiar.
Okay, so when I'm not trancing, I will be utilizing my familiar to kind of snoop around camp.
Okay. Go ahead and roll a 20-sided dice. We'll add 3 to
Don't
it
get
for
caught,
the purposes
man.
of
Don't
stealth.
get caught. You're gonna get blown up.
Natural 20. No.
Yeah, ideally, I'd like to.
Before you roll a 20-sided dice and add the +3 for its total stealth bonus, I want you to understand that if you don't want to roll this, you can just go ahead and pull back on what you just said and not do that. So I just want to make sure that that's clear. So if you would like to do what you said you were doing, you can. But I, as a DM, I'm letting you know that this is going to change the dynamic very, very hotly if you don't roll well. So I'm not looking down there. Do you want to not roll the dice, or are you rolling the dice?
Is anybody else doing anything during the
No,
evening?
we're just talking to you, Chad, right now. It's just
No,
you, baby.
I'm
Okay.
sleeping.
Are you rolling that dice, or are you not rolling that dice?
I'm not rolling the dice.
So you are not sending your familiar out into the group. Okay, that's very cool. All right. So I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna go back. What you very quickly realize is that you are not just sitting in a camp of a bunch of bumbling idiots as you're kind of plotting and planning your movement. They are very structured. They are very tightly coordinated, and Krungar seems to have been ingratiated into them very tightly. There are never more or less than 4 people awake at all times, and they are watching in the camp, out of the camp, and around the camp. Very, very, very precisely. You have seen weaker town guard movements. So, you sleep throughout the night, and you keep on looking for your opening. You do not seem to find one, but you are able to glean facts from trance and from just paying attention with your own eyes. The mage, from what you can tell, appears to be a member of a very vaunted order of mages that are part of a school called Heisrick. They're high-powered conglomerate wizards. And
Oh, shit.
Based on his book and the weird swirling patterns that are on it, you would presume that he, with your arcana being trained and you focusing on this, that he is a chronomancer.
Oh, fuck.
So,
That's exactly what I wanted before. I wanted to go back in time.
right, now we can do it, you guys. Let's
Now we
read the
can
book
do
in the
it.
past.
That's right.
You travel. I need 2 20-sided dice rolls, quick as you can. Pick a person, whoever you'd like.
I'll
Rungar
roll one.
or Valentine is doing it.
Okay,
Alright.
one more.
9.
Okay, so you make it to the road on the Makoshi Plains. And as you do, you're traveling in your tight formation. Again, Krungar is ingratiated into the ducklings. You, on the other hand, are kind of like out and about, near to there, but, still moving. The wizard on his palanquin. And it's a bright fall day. The grass is a soft kind of green and, orange color from, a long summer. The sky is blue, but like filled with enough white clouds and a crispness to it that it's nice. You're not so far inland that you aren't kind of getting the effects of kind of the coastal winds. And you come to realize that after you've passed another one of the great bridges of Makoshi, you've come out onto this field, a very open area where the road kind of just moves through the farmlands. When one of the soldiers that are amongst your number yell out, "Riders!" from behind. And as you all turn and look back, you see somewhere around 20 or 30
Oh
riders
shit.
Jesus.
with
Oh shit.
black cloaks with checkered scarves
Fuck.
flowing from their necks. And that is where we'll leave for tonight. Thanks for watching those that did. And next session we'll be getting with combat. We're just going to start with a fight. A fight with a bunch of NPCs and you guys. I'll see you next week.
I'm sorry.
Thanks for watching.